Hello and welcome to another episode of Life Talks with Fawole. Today we're going to touch a subject that is paramount in a lot of people's lives right now. It's in the news, everyone's like thinking about it, health. You need to think about your health. And the aspect of health we're going to talk about today from a very learned friend of mine is your diet and how your diet can affect every aspect of your health and your life. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to a very good friend of mine, long-time family friend. I think my little brother.
Yeah, come on.
Albert.
Yes.
Come on. Yeah, you done though. I like that.
That was a great introduction, bro.
Albert, thank you.
Yeah,
Welcome.
my pleasure, man. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You've known me before I was who I am today. You know, which is interesting, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying it's very interesting, because you know when people say that, usually they've only known each other for like, let's say 5 years or a decade, you know, that's my day one, you know what I'm saying? But you've only known someone for a decade.
Yeah.
You've known me for about maybe 2 to 3 decades.
I know. I understand that.
Showing your age, guys.
Yeah.
His age.
I thought you lot was 25.
Yeah, I am forever young. But this is what health does.
Come on, age is that about wisdom though. As you go on, you learn more, so you grow. So it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah, you've known me for about 2 to 3 decades. When I was called Professor Nuts as a youth. So funny, when I tell my brethren that now, they can't believe it, you know, because it's interesting. Like, so the labels that we actually develop in life, they're usually reflective of the qualities we have at that point in our life, you know. So for example, how you name your child is critical, you know, because names can be prescriptive or descriptive, meaning you can prescribe a particular attribute you want for that child to reach, you know what I'm saying? So you can call your child like a king, or a queen, and you want her to get, or him to get to that level. And so that's a constant program. Every time you say that name, it's going into the subconscious, and what happens, whatever the subconscious takes in, you start to actually manifest. And then you can describe a quality in terms of like when you have a child, you may say, oh, you came out and you look like a wise man, you know what I'm saying? Or you came out and you look innocent. So now you're naming a quality that's there and then. So even when I was younger, and you lot used to call me Professor Nuts. It was funny, because that was because I used to come up with things and say things, you know what I'm saying? I used to go beyond people.
You remember Leslie, right?
No, who's Leslie?
Leslie, he was your cold D with the glasses, that youth that was always with you. He used to sleepwalk. Your brothers would tell you about him. Because when you lot was youths, right? Imagine we would be in the sitting room wherever, you lot was youths, you'd fall asleep at a certain time. To wake up, send you to bed, because we want to chill. And
exactly, standard.
So Leslie was, someone else his child, that's an African family, you know you have cousins around.
Standard.
So he was sleeping, you were sleeping. We woke up one day. We woke you both you up. You got up. You like moaning, but like, come on, Albert, come on, go to bed. Like you're musty, but you went. My man done a full sleepwalk, Leslie. I tell all the man them if I say that guy's name, they remember him. He was like, and he walks around and shit with me, done something. It was so funny. But just reminded me of Leslie.
Yeah, because go on.
I wanted to go back to what you just said about the name. Like, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today, and I'd love to get into your brain, because you are a king. You're very intelligent as well. I love intelligence. I love like receiving good energy, but there's no buts anyway. So in respect to the name stuff, in what I see and what I hear going on now as well in the world, and this is for the audience at home as well, try to revert from what Albert said in this when it comes from the negative. When they say you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, you're this, you're that, you're that. Or, you know what, on the road, you're a bad man, you do this, you look them down, don't buy into that. Because that is also exactly what you're saying, but you're buying into the negativity.
Absolutely.
And I think, even when I was young, when people would say, you're crazy, you're this, sometimes you try to live up to it. And like right now, no one out there should be living up to no label that anybody is giving to them. You should have your own labels or discover yourself.
Exactly.
So that is very poignant, what you were talking about.
It's key. Even so, like, it's funny because let's say the name Professor Nuts. Professor Nuts. Come on, no one would really even get it, but those who were there, they got it, because it was like, okay, when he's actually speaking, remember for my age as well, I was like the youngest amongst the mandem as well, and there was like a 10-year gap as well, and then I would say things that was way out of the paradigm of most people, to get me, so they weren't even the levels people were reasoning on. However, even getting that term, it was like a term of endearment, because what it enabled me to do was be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with thinking outside the box. You know what I'm saying?
It became a celebration, because when you say the mandem, he's talking about his big brothers. Because like I used to move with his brothers, so he's got 3 big brothers. So he's the youngest of four brothers. Okay. So even being in that hierarchy, sometimes you may not feel that you can speak out, or you might get bullied or shut down by certain things.
Absolutely.
And the thing that you're speaking out, and rather than people saying shut up, they're like, hey, Professor Nuts is speaking again. So if it validates, like you're saying, that's what I'm saying. Validated. Okay, I can speak.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's what it did, man, and it empowered me. So then when I went into like school or other institutions, there was a certain level of self-esteem I had, because that got cultivated in the house. Yeah. It wasn't like suppress yourself, don't talk. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, okay, well, we understand what you're saying. Even if we don't want to hear it now, we get it. Do you get me? Yeah. So then it's interesting because now as I started to develop, that name then kind of faded away. Then I got kind of given other names. You get me? And so the reason I'm bringing up the whole naming thing, because names are programs. That's what they are. You're programming someone by what you name them. So like you said, it's very important that you are cautious, mindful, you know, with the names that you pick or what you accept. You know, because if someone gives you a name and you do not actually refute it, and what I mean by refute it, if you don't say nothing, it's still consent. You feel me? And this is the whole thing. People think consent is just when I say yes, I do, or I accept that. No. There's implied consent as well. And that's what happens with a lot of people. We're going around and we're creating contracts with people and we're not even aware of it. Someone calls you something, but maybe because you've got a desire to please, you don't actually tell them no. You don't correct them. So at that point in time, your authenticity goes out the window. And then now your whole life is given to you by what someone else has defined you to be.
And it's the thing is for me as well, like I'm looking at it like how my learning friend would do, Devil I've got on the fence and everything. You have to be careful with not just the names you accept as your name, because I know a lot of people that change their names like Depot, but then that you're being given positive affirmations from whoever's around you. Like there's one that I really resented all the time, which is fine in certain parameters, which I will accept, but certain I won't. Like it's a Jamaican thing, like Mayu. If someone my age or a bit younger than me is calling me Mayu, I'm like, hold on a minute. It will stop the conversation dead. I'd be like, hold on a minute, who are you talking to? Like, no, I'm not Mayu. I might still do the thing they've asked me to do, but don't call me Mayu. And that's just something that was built in me. There's other things that I have subconsciously let slide because of politically correctness, let slide because of how I was programmed, let slide. Like in school, certain things were said to me or names I was called, and I let slide when I should have said something. But that was one that I always remember saying, no, don't call me by you, I'm not having that.
Sometimes when it can be just like but you should still correct, I suppose. But
no matter what it is.
When it's close to your sounding of your name, you know, like like you've got some people that just call you something, and you just can't be bothered to correct them. You know,
but some people take the piss with it.
There's some people that do. I'm saying there's some people that do, but you know that you'll just have there will be that someone that you've known for years. And you've told him your name a few times now, and it might be an older guy, or even you know, he calls you what he calls you.
But then it isn't. Then it becomes a positive affirmation. It's a term of endearment because you like and he likes it, so it don't matter no more.
That's what matters.
And then, you know what I mean? How you?
It's intention.
It's intention. There, bro. You hit the nail on the head, because exactly what I was going to say. The intention is like that's the most important thing. But also, like I know that my name's Albert, and having a name like Albert, growing up, boy,
it's a king's name, mate. King Albert, mate.
It definitely is. But when I was growing up, it was Dwayne's, there was Daniel's, there was Sean's, there was no Albert. So when Albert got called, I was like, who's that old man? But I grew to love the name eventually. And then I realized the name describes me very well.
You probably grew into it.
I had to. Now, and you know, the type of the name that I have, there's no shortening it because it sounds worse. Albert and all, it does not work. It's either Albert or nothing at all. Do you get me? But what it is though, people would often call me Alfred and Alvin. It's interesting. Albert is more popular than Alfred and Alvin, but people call me that. And then it got to a point where I don't mind it, innit? Because I understand the intention behind it. Yes, I'll correct people, but then the other day someone called me like Alfred and I left them. They're like, why'd you allow me to me? That's cool, bro. You didn't do it on purpose. Do you get me? I know that you're referring to me, you feel me? And you still delivered your message. It's very important that we separate the pride from it as well. Do you get me? Because often what would happen, you didn't call me by my name. So what does that mean? I'm not good enough. Or what does it mean? I'm nothing. No, that's your own internal dialogue.
You have to know yourself. It's
very important you check your own internal dialogue. You know, so again, names are affirmations. You know, choose them well.
You know what my name means, right?
No, go on.
My name means my belly is filled with joy.
See it there?
In the festival of the new year.
See it there?
like my Ayokunu, Abiondu, Fawole.
You see?
So Fawole is my surname, but the rest of it, like Ayokunu is my belly's full of joy. Abiondu is any festival in my father's native tongue, Yoruba. You get Abiondu. You could be born Christmas, New Year's, Easter. You'll get that. That will go alongside your name because you was born during a festival.
Wow, celebration.
So, yeah,
and you've embodied that. You've grown into that as well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So let's not take for granted the science of names.
Yeah.
Even
that you were saying it was like bang.
Science, and then another thing as well. You can name yourself. There may be something that you want to achieve in your life, or there may be a quality in yourself that you want to bring out. Actually, create a name around that, because then that becomes an affirmation for you. Do you get me? So let's say you're going to the gym and you want more motivation. You know what I'm saying? You may create a name around, you go into the gym and something that inspires you, and guarantee you, the more you say it, the more that DNA inside of yourself is going to respond. You know what I'm saying? And then you will start to actually embody that. That's just the way it works. You get me? We've never been like, people often think you're the same person throughout your whole life. You're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not. Just the same way emotions come through you, so does your actual different personalities, different qualities. So what a name does, though, enables you to tap into a certain energy that you want to reaffirm, you know what I'm saying, for a certain point in time. And you hear often, like with Bruce Lee and different warriors, they call themselves different names because they want to bring out that quality. So
but it's like that the pennies drops, not the pennies dropping as we're talking, because without any title or name, you ain't nothing. And just that name title, just the word boss or owner or manager, already people, when a manager walks through, whether you know them or not, like in a workplace, certain people, they're on their toes. Just because you're a manager, doesn't matter what the demeanour is, where they come, doesn't matter who they are, that's the manager. It could be it doesn't matter. So the name is very big.
The name doesn't mean nothing to others, but what you call yourself is very important.
Critical.
So like, whatever people call you, I'm not saying that it's neither here nor there, but it can have effects on you, like you said, like if it's someone you're around constantly, but like I said, if let's say if I'm in a
stuff you don't need to tolerate, technically, we know it's not true.
And someone says something that I don't want to hear, I don't have to react to it in the way that I was once told. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, what I call myself as well, to me, that name is the most important name.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you can have that middle ground when it's other people, but what you refer to yourself, like you said, the things that even if you're going to the gym and you have something that there's something that you could, it's those names that you have for yourself that can generate different thoughts and feelings that are very to me that are most important, because you ain't got control of what other people call you.
No, they are not well to you. Yes, I agree, but they are technically. That is the most important. What you're saying is the most important. Yeah. What you understand yourself to be and everything. That's the most important.
People can call you whatever,
because once you're clear once from yourself, you know yourself. That's you're flying. You're flying.
You know how you can demonstrate that, because different cultures will have different concepts around the same phenomena. You get me? So for example, like, all right, so if you lived with the Eskimos, actually like lip-syn, isn't seen as the most intimate form of connection. Rubbing your noses is seen as the most intimate form of connection. If you're in a certain culture, black is seen as bad. But you go to the Aboriginal cultures, black is seen as reality, you know what I'm saying? Because you're born in the darkness, you know what I'm saying? And you go back, and even when you're going to sleep, you must close your eyes, you know what I'm saying, to get your rest. When you want to create and when you want to actually bring forth new ideas, you close your eyes. That's coming from the deep darkness. So I'm saying, someone say, black.
I like that.
Black, another person, oh no, that's bad. Someone say black, oh yeah, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the universe is. We're in the darkness, we're in the mother's womb, do you get me? But, as I said, it's my interpretation of the name, you feel me?
Yeah.
So for example, growing up, I remember all of my Nigerian brethren and families, they had long names, you get me?
Like mine?
Yeah. Even
longer.
Long names. But there was a conscious, actual intention behind naming these children, you know? And you could also see it in their behavior, you know what I'm saying? There was this pride, that Nigerians have. And I remember there was always like these arguments that my brothers, you lot will have over the different countries. You get me? But one thing that's consistent, whether or not
African countries.
Yes.
African countries.
Where one thing that's consistent, whether or not, people are like, oh, Nigerians are bossy or whatever it is, people consistently can attest that the pride, you know, that Nigerians have is consistent. Do you get me? And
they're a proud race.
Yeah, and that is a nature thing now, but that's nurture. If you're going to start naming your children about like born into wealth, you know what I'm saying, that you're worthy of great things, that's going to have an effect. And so it should. You feel me? So it should. So we don't joke with names and we don't joke with titles, you get me? But also, again, you control your interpretation. It's very important. Because if you do not control how you're receiving something, you are literally an empty space that's going to be programmed by everybody.
So then we got to go, that leads nice into what I want to say next. What we were talking about earlier, about the energy and being out there and allowing other people's energy to for want of a better phrase, draw you out. Like literally draw you out of yourself. You could be having a great day, going about your business, got your everything planned out. Then you encounter a shopkeeper who isn't having a good day, who isn't happy that you're there, who isn't happy you're black, who isn't happy you're good looking, whatever. And they just want to draw you out, and they'll do everything that they can to draw you out. Like,
funny enough, it goes back to what Albert was saying about the diet. And I'm not. Let me just say, I'm not an actual vegan. You know what I mean? But I still know what is what. You know what I'm saying? I know what little bits I do know. You know. When
you say about the diet, what do you mean?
Because like again, a lot of the adrenaline from animals when they're killed is still in the meat when we're eating it. So a lot of the time when we're reacting, the adrenaline is maybe it's not always from us. It's not 100% from us. So there's that again. And if you had energy, like if you're eating food like electric foods and things that are giving you energy. Funny enough, you can handle that disrespect a bit more. You might even smile at the disrespect, like
I totally
you've got energy for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you switch on people, because you're tired.
Yeah.
As well. So you got your tiredness, and then you got your fatigueness, then you got the adrenaline from how many different. And your
sugar dropping or certain things because you're peaking like
literally.
Because you're peaking certain things because of the food you're eating.
You know what I'm saying? I think it even helps to understand that. So even me being not being that someone that I haven't crossed over to being vegan or things something like that, but I still understand what these things may be doing to me, so I can control it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I can have days where I cut out meat, but I know that maybe on Friday I'm gonna eat a steak. You know what I mean? But I can. That's how I'm controlling my.
You're managing it. You're managing it.
Yeah, I'm saying.
But then that also for me will go to because I've got a battle right now. Like you see in my poetry and everything with food. I eat hella junk food, but I also now recently saw some stuff on TV and my eyes. I don't watch much TV, but I saw some stuff on TV how you can be programmed to certain things. So once I've tasted something, once I've eaten it a few times, my brain now remembers that stuff. So I realised that's why I like chips so much because I was brought up on chips. Like I love chips. Do you know what I'm saying? And when I saw this program, I realised that. Now, for me to not eat meat, I've kind of stopped eating pork. It's not as easy as it seems. I know it's wrong. I want to stop doing it. I can eat vegetables, but it's not as cut and dry as that because I'm into the meat. I like the taste of lamb. I like the taste of certain things. How did you manage to? Because you've gone from eating meat to not eating meat. Totally not eating meat. So, like, do you want to talk to us about that journey you took? Like, because we all try to do it, innit?
You know what it is? It's like, so exactly what you said. I was the worst eater growing up. If something didn't taste good.
And can I just say, sorry, I remember because like I was with you. I know this guy said she was like looking, he had to look up at us. We used to buy food from Low Cost, wherever. Remember Low Cost, Low Cost, Quick Save, what other shops were. But also, so we're gonna leave.
You know, it's because most people don't know these shops. I was saying it on another interview the other day. I was like, we used to get this like lemonade, this cheap lemonade from Low Cost that tasted like medicine. It was disgusting.
Like you never see something that's like once you open the bottle, as soon as you go, he's lost all of his fizz.
Everything's done.
He's lost all of his fizz. As soon as
it's like still water.
It's mad.
I used to throw sugar in that just to make it taste good. Yeah, man.
I just remember the chips. There was like maybe 2% potato in them. But we got buying that food to me. It tasted good. I don't think it's half as bad as the low cost food and the substitute food they're giving now because of the advances in chemistry, medicine, all this kind of stuff. All of that. So, but going back to how you made the transition from the bads, go ahead.
So for me, I used to eat very, very bad, like very bad. I was an emotional eater, and that's what most people are. Even like the viewers that are going to watch this podcast, they're going to be able to relate to this. And what emotional eating means is that you're not eating because you need nutrition. You're eating out of appetite. Appetite is something else. Appetite is like the ego. The way you train it is the way it will come. And then what it is with the appetite as well is now you be trying to feed the appetite to make up for the emotions that you're missing. And that's how most people eat. So for example, I'm feeling stressed today, so I'm going to go eat crunchy food, because what crunchy food does on an emotional level is release stress. Okay. Yeah. So, and these are things.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, I feel like, I just want to be hugged, just I'm missing nurturing. I want my girl, I want my man, whatever it is. They will go for creamy food. Yeah. So the creamy food and the dairy food.
Yeah. Okay.
They simulate nurturing on an emotional level.
Makes sense.
It's the first form of suckling, which is the first form of intimacy that a child actually experiences, is from the mother's breast. So you remember, we've got these programmed into us. These are primordial programs. That's why you don't teach a baby to suckle. The baby knows how to do it automatically. The baby comes out, the baby knows what to do. That's already in it. It's the same thing with food and emotions. But it can get corrupted. So now, if you're feeling like you're...
That's a lot, That's a lot, I'm just sorry, viewers at home, people in the room, that's a lot, When you hear that and realize it and analyze it within inside yourself, and you're thinking, Ross, that's a lot, but please continue. I'm gonna, wow.
Yeah, so the reason I'm saying this is because it's no coincidence we are in this position, or it's no coincidence that people are in this position. It's deliberate. It's by design. It's literally by design. So this isn't for people to be upset with themselves or get frustrated. It's just to know, okay, this is how I got here. I'm going to learn how I got here. Once you learn how you've got here, you can now be the cause in not returning back to where you've come from. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Where if you don't know where you've come from, chances are quite high that you're going to return there, thinking that you've taken a different route. But no, you're just on a cycle.
Even if it's not you, it's your kids as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? When it's you returning.
Oh my gosh, the kids will show you yourself. The kids actually mirror you. Now, what it is as well with sugar now, which is a big thing. With sugar stimulates and triggers the emotion of love. This is why they put sugar in cigarettes. And you don't know, go research it. They spray sugar on cigarettes, because
I never heard of this. I'm hearing nicotine and this and that stuff that makes it burn. But they spray sugar in cigarettes,
It's the most addictive thing. Sugar is more addictive than crack.
No, I understand that. I was aware of that. No, you weren't learning nothing new there. But spraying, it's on cigarettes.
Yeah, it's on cigarettes.
Sugar cigarettes.
Yeah.
No, not sugar cigarettes. They're just on cigarettes.
No, that's sugar cigarettes. It's sugar cigarettes. Because I know it's in beans. Like we're gonna go back when I was in the States. Now, if I come from London States, here it's different. It was like there's sugar in everything, but it's baked beans, you don't see sugar. But over there, when I went to buy baked beans, it's baked beans with added brown sugar, and I was like, Ross, what's this? Do you know? But to hear there's sugar in cigarettes, which is already damaging your health enough, I'm like, really?
And the reason they put it there as well is because you don't notice it in terms of taste. Yeah, you won't notice it. It's very subtle. But what it will do, it will stimulate the emotion of love. And then when you're actually smoking that cigarette, you feel like you're being in love. You feel like you're getting a release. You feel like it's a catharsis. You're releasing, you're letting go. What they started doing, if you look at some of the adverts, in the 60s and that, when they started promoting cigarettes, they were promoting it to women especially as well. And they were promoting to women in the 60s to actually empower and to also reinforce that women are independent now. You know what I'm saying? When the men went to war, the women are doing all the jobs, you know what I'm saying? They're able to look after kids. So now the fag became a symbol of women's liberation and women's rights. You get me? So anyway, what they did now,
the other campaign going, the money coming through the door and all of that.
Exactly. Then they made it a bit sexy. They put it on these little kind of thin little rods, I'm telling you, it's all by design. Because that's not how they look when you get them in nature. When you find tobacco in nature's leaves, you get me? So all of that's by design. So either way, and
people still consume tobacco, obviously.
All right, tobacco is indigenous, it's aboriginal. In its natural form, it's not bad for you at all. You know what I'm saying? But it's when you process it. This is like all the so-called drugs in their natural form, they are great. You know what I'm saying? But they're not stimulants like that. They're used for different things. You get me? So like tobacco will be used when the hunters are going to hunt. Why? Because it helps to suppress the appetite. So they will chew it. Like there's all different, and so every single one of these particular herbs or plants has a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get to that. But what happens when it gets brought up into industry and capitalism, it's about profit now. And no one ain't going to make profit on someone who's well When you are well, and which means you're sustainable, you are
self-sustainable.
Yes,
you're self-sustainable. Yeah,
self-sufficient.
You're self-sufficient. I meant to say
you're not worth anything to these companies. So they must turn you into an addict. They must put the sugar on it, because if they put the sugar, you're going to get addicted, and you're not even going to know why you're addicted. Because cigarette don't even taste good. It doesn't taste good.
It does taste nasty.
There's so many people I know growing up here, because I remember, like you get the peer pressure, and they were like, oh yeah, I tasted the fag. Fags taste nasty. But then 2 weeks later, they're smoking. Yeah. How does that even work?
But you know what? As you're saying that, as the weed is advanced, there's bare sugar in the weed.
Boy.
That's why it's so sweet, fam.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? You're literally like, it's sweet.
Proper.
Now.
It is.
It's
You're
not
right.
like back in the day where you have like a, you know what I'm saying?
That's not sensimania. That's not no high grade. That's made in a lab, around the corner.
And it's called strawberry.
Yeah.
Strawberry kush. Pineapple.
Mad.
Different kushes and
exactly.
flavors.
I heard the other day.
Why were you putting it in your mouth? Okay,
Yeah.
viewers at home, why were you putting it in your mouth?
I heard the other day there's some weed called amnesia, and I was like, what?
Yeah, you only just heard that now.
No, I didn't.
All the time I've known you, didn't know about that.
No, and my virgin that was telling me, said,
you don't know.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah,
My virgin was telling me, says, you know, when I smoke it, I lose my memory. I'm like, are you serious?
Wow, yeah.
But so,
why would you want to do that to yourself?
But I get it. You see what happens when now you are going through trauma, and this is going back to diet. Yeah. Trauma is a major cause for concern, because most people are dealing with some level of trauma that's unrecognized. So what happens when you don't have a name or a word for something? It doesn't exist. I'm going to say that again. When you don't have a name or word for something, it doesn't exist to you, because you can't distinguish it. And when I say you can't distinguish it, it's like me not being able to tell that, say I don't have a name for my jumper. Then when I'm referring to myself, I'm also going to be referring to my jumper as if it's part of me, where actually this is a layer on top of my body. It's the same thing with internal states. If you can't distinguish these internal states, then actually everything is everything, and it's just one, and it doesn't exist.
Are you all part of you? Yeah.
Saying that on the other side of it is that they diagnose people very
acute things.
No, I don't feel like they diagnose people properly.
Oh, absolutely.
To say the least.
Absolutely.
So,
general statements, slapped on stuff.
You're right in terms of like everything needs to be named, but I feel like they dash names at things.
Oh, standard.
And situations. So like enough people are going through things because they were diagnosed in a way that someone else was diagnosed.
Come on.
And that's not really what they were dealing with or how they needed to get out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like understanding trauma as well, there's so much different angles to it. Yeah. You can't attack it in the one direction that everyone thinks that they can attack it. You know what I'm saying? Trauma is something that it's almost like a course.
Come on. And bro, you know what it is? So a couple of things. Absolutely right. Every single person's unique. Yeah, it's not a one size fits all when it comes to health or diet.
Well, almost anything. Yeah.
Like, so me and my brothers can eat the same food, and this food is negatively impacting me, but he's able to digest it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we've come from the same mum. How does that work?
So let me ask you this now, then. Yeah. So do you think there's a parameter on any spectrum for someone to be able to assimilate junk food and still be okay within a certain amount of junk food, and not to have a adverse effect on their health because of the same thing you just said now?
Well, what it is, some people can tolerate foods better than others. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's good for them though. It's just like sipping poison and being able to tolerate the poison for a period of time. Whereas we may both sip on the same poison, it kills me straight away. With you, it takes 10 years. You get me? It's still doing damage though. You feel me? Now, how does that damage show up? Which is a big important area. The damage shows up as symptoms: headaches, fatigue. Yeah, all of these symptoms that we hear about. High blood pressure. Circulation issues, acne. I was just about to say that. Eczema. Yeah? All of these are symptoms, but we're looking at the symptoms. IBS, bro. That's one of the major.
IBS. People who got IBS out there, they don't even know, but they're still shoveling certain things in their mouth, and it's just like, say exactly what you're saying. Like they got that jacket or they don't know the name of it. They say, I feel it, but I'll still keep eating. I'll still keep doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm not going to fix anything.
Pop the medication.
Yeah, I'll take this from
exactly. And then what the medication doing is destroying your kidneys, because your kidneys have to filter out the blood. So when your body is receiving this medication, it's receiving it as drugs, no different as you taking crack. It's just legal. So what happens with people now in general?
What
what happens with people just in general, going back to trauma, is like you were saying, everyone's unique. Me and you could go through the same situation or the same experience, and I'm left with some residual trauma and you're not, you know? So what happens is it's so important that when you're dealing with health, you deal with the individual, you know, because they're unique. They've got their own matrix going on. That's why initially in the Aboriginal kind of indigenous tribes, you're not dealing with a one size fits all. You deal with one person at one time, you know? And even when you're dealing with them, you're not just dealing with what you can see. Yeah,
give their history and everything.
Yeah,
because their upbringing and everything.
Yeah, because everything you've done has led to where you are today.
Yeah.
So that's so critical.
Yeah.
Like, so you see anything that happens to you right now, let's say a disease starts to develop, it's been happening and actually developing for 10, 20 years.
You know what I'm saying?
The great thing about the body is the body can actually regenerate faster than it degenerated.
Okay.
So something that took 20 years, you can take 5 years to reverse
get better.
it.
Yeah.
But
you have to work. You have to
work
mindset.
Yeah. So, because what happens, they say it's easier, you know, to change a person's mind than it is to change their diet. And the reason is because you are what you eat. The food you eat starts making up the energy in your body. Just like what you're saying with the meat and the adrenaline and so on, absolutely correct. Because this food that you're eating, your body's going to use it and start doing an alchemical process to transform this food into energy that it can use.
And then bing, whatever comes out, comes out.
Yeah. So this is why you can eat certain foods and you get the itis. Straight away, you're fatigued. And the reason is that your body's using more energy to break down the food than it is from getting from the food. So it's using the energy to break down, but it's not getting much. So your body's now in a debt.
Like this is shut down,
So one of the things we've got to look at when it comes to health and diet, signals. What are the signals of your body? Very important. We have different signals. So one person's signal could be a breakout. So they may eat certain things and get breakouts. Another person may get diarrhea. Another person may get acid reflux. Go on.
Allergies.
Yes.
Because allergies have become very prevalent. Because I've got children. Very prevalent over the past, for me, 10 to 15 years, like a lot more people have got nut allergy, fish allergy.
Bro, you're
Why?
right. You're right, bro. See, this is a phenomenon that wasn't heard of about 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's
and then before that, it was never. And the reason is because of what's going on to people's their immune system. Yeah. So there's a few reasons, but the most important one is people's bodies are in constant. Yeah. When I say constant, they're constantly having an immune response, which means the food they're eating, the lifestyle, the toxins, what they're spraying around the house, all these things is stressing their body. So what happens when your immune system is low? Allergies rise. Why? Because your body can't tolerate certain things anymore. Why? Because its energy is trying to fight off the current battle or the current challenge. So what you find is when people start to improve their health, like do the program that I will put them on, or come for
we'll get into that as well. That's the next one coming to you though.
And transform their diet. What happens? You start noticing allergies start to go away. Yeah. And some things are more chronic because they've been there for time. Like nut allergies are a serious one. You know, like if someone has a nut allergy.
My daughter had one and she's not allergic no.
See, I've heard of that before.
She's 23 now, so she I don't know when she stopped being allergic. You know, kids don't tell you everything. I'm still allergic today. But when she was 3, 4, 5, she was allergic. Like, she got diagnosed, had the test and everything. Couldn't go over the nuts, EpiPen and everything. Wow. And then now she can eat nuts, tolerate nuts. Go on.
So what made me question a lot of those things as well? Again, two things. Environment is a big element on how your body takes in your skin.
Pollution,
but just depending on where your family are from as well and how long your DNA's been here, because you know what I'm saying, it kind of starts. It takes its toll after a little while, especially if you don't get enough sun.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying? And also, like you said from earlier, another thing, because I've watched people that were very healthy lifestyle people become ill, and that came to what he was
fruition
earlier. No, emotional.
It came down to being an emotional state of mind.
The mental health. Because the mental health can affect the body as well as the body can affect the mental health. Like, a lot of people don't understand they can affect each other as well. So it's like when you're not comfortable and there's things that you're not happy with within your mind. And
talk the things, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of that makes a lot of people ill as well. Do you know what I'm saying? As well as like, so it's like even when they're trying to, because a lot of people that seek health are people that are at this ease. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying so that's why the whole disease thing, because they're not at ease. So a lot of the people that go to the vegan and the plant-based diets is because they're actually feeling immediate things within them that they're not comfortable with, and they can't seem to shake them. You get what I'm saying? And then so a lot of those people they'll be living a very good
life.
Like they'll be living a healthy life, maybe even quote unquote they're spiritual. They feel like they've become more spiritual, things like that. I know many people like this, but their actions don't match. So within their actions, their heart is still in a place that's not matching what they're eating. Let's just say. So it became a lifestyle.
Making you think of like the worry.
Yeah, it becomes a lot of a lifestyle for people, and when it becomes a lifestyle that you being cool and things like that, it's not. You don't get what you're supposed to get from it.
No, it's not authentic either.
Yeah.
Like, you're absolutely right. You know what it is, bro? So, one, diet is not just what you're consuming. Diet is what you're thinking and what you're feeling as well.
Exactly.
And I was going to get to that. So, it's not just what you're consuming at all.
This is back to school for me today. You know, I'm just letting you know, this is back to school.
It's back to school for all of us.
I think we never left. I think I stayed there. That's the thing you always be learning.
Yeah, man. That's what life is. That's what life is.
Max on the computer.
Still going. Brain's still going. Come on.
So so what brother's talking about is the trend, because there has been a trend, you know, a vegan trend.
I'm well aware of it,
a plant-based trend, and you're right, it's a trend. People doing it to be popular, you know, or it's the next best thing to do, as opposed to doing it for their vitality. So this is why I make a distinction, and distinctions are very important, because I was saying, like, if I don't know what my jumper is from my skin, I'm going to think they're the same thing, and they're two different things. So there's a distinction: jumper, skin, you know. But it's the same thing when you're dealing with people in diet and trauma and emotional health, because now we're in a society that's quite dense. So we only were taught to just recognize things that you are tangible, but it's interesting, the tangible, like the table or the mic, it came from the intangible. These things came from ideas, you know what I'm saying? So already, that's already like it kind of almost like
defeats purpose.
It flaws the whole argument, you get me? Like, for this to be here, it had to come from something intangible. So then what that would then actually lead you towards is that you need to be looking at the intangible. What's going on? What's going on that you may not be able to touch, but you can feel it, you get me? Because your body's always talking to you. Your body will let you know what go on. There's certain days where you wake up and you're groggy, you know. That's already letting you know your body's not regenerated. You need more sleep. And it's not just any type of sleep. You need to be in a deep sleep. You know, because a lot of the time we talk about these lengths of
another
things.
one.
Yeah, length and all that. It's not about length, it's about quality. You know what I'm saying? It's like man them or having friends. You can have 100 friends, you know what I'm saying, and none of them are quality. But you can have the two, and you're safe with these lot, and they bring out the best in you. It's the same thing with lifestyle. So in terms of trauma, we've got to normalize being able to express, you know, our trauma. And the reason I'm saying it is because if you don't express it, you're going to continue to carry it around with you. And if you carry it around with you, you're going to be dealing with people through the lenses of trauma. You know what I'm saying?
And on the frequency of trauma as well.
Someone that's never hurt you, you'll bleed on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they say one thing and it reminds you, you know what I'm saying, of what you haven't dealt with. And then you've got...
That's a lot. I want you earlier on, you done something I liked it. You said, I'm going to repeat that. Right, what you just said right now, I know there's thousands, millions of people that they're doing exactly what you just said just now. So I want you to repeat that, please.
So when you haven't actually acknowledged your trauma, you will bleed on people that never cut you. You will bleed on people that never cut you. And the reason is, you don't even have a choice in the matter.
That bleed on people that may even have the best for you, that may even enhance you, maybe to the next level.
They love you, bro, but dysfunctional.
Because you haven't loved yourself enough or addressed that particular thing.
Love, you got to remember, like, if you haven't tapped into a certain love within yourself, how can you give that to someone else? You understand?
And this is, and I want to say something else as well, because there's a lot of, for me, this just touches on relationships, people that are hurt, people that have been hurt, people that have been like emotionally, physically abused. As hard as it is, before you can move forward to the next step, like my learning friend Albert and the man behind the camera is saying, you need to do that, and it's not your fault, and you can do it and get out of it. But until you do that, you might find yourself in a vicious circle. You might not understand why nothing is working for you, or you're reverting backwards. Let's try and do that. Let's try and find out the essence of the things.
And just to add to that, it's like this. You see, if you don't acknowledge or recognize, you know, your hurt, what you do, you actually discredit, denounce, ignore, cut off a part of yourself. Because behind hurt, Yeah, just behind, because for her to be there, there's something else there too, you know what I'm saying? And so when you get behind her, you find love. You know what I'm saying? People can't hurt you if you didn't have no expectations for them. You feel me? They just won't exist to you. 100%. You feel me? 100%. So like the opposite of love is not hate. Hate is very much love. Do not get it twisted. It's the other side of the coin. You feel me? However, when the opposite of love is indifference, you don't even recognize that person's existence. You feel me? So the thing about like trauma, you know what I'm saying? Trauma has a lot of love suppressed in it, you know? So now someone that you loved or some expectation you had for someone or something, you know what I'm saying? They didn't live up to your expectations. So as a result, you have this residue you're carrying around. Now I can name countless people where that's the case with, because what we also don't recognize is our first heartbreaks are usually our parents. Our parents break our hearts before any first girlfriend or first boyfriend, but we don't acknowledge that. And if we don't acknowledge, it's the reality. So you want us to come here and speak real. This is the reality, and this is what people are dealing with in their lives. And the reality is this: most people haven't evolved beyond the wounded child. So if your heart was broken at 5 and you haven't addressed or dealt with that trauma, you're not going to actually evolve beyond 5 emotionally. So you start wearing all these masks, you know, of being an adult and being responsible.
Sorry, I'm going to let you continue this. For me, and I'm talking about myself, to be vulnerable on the camera, certain things I've addressed it, but certain things, you develop the masks. For me, you develop the mask to be able to get through certain situations.
Survival.
You put them on, you put them on.
Japanese say that you got 3 masks. The one you carry out, the one you show your family, and the one you got yourself.
Show your family, you got yourself.
Go on.
So what it is, you see these masks serve a purpose. They're neither bad nor good. They become bad though when actually they suppress your true essence, when they suppress your vulnerability. You see with these masks, we usually develop them to survive, and that's the problem. Because you see, when you're in survival mode, that's fight or flight. That's adrenaline, that's cortisol. You can never live in survival mode. So it's like waking up every day by your bed and there's a lion there. Every day you wake up, there's a lion there. Your adrenaline's going off every single day. Eventually, you're going to die.
You know what? Sorry.
That's all right. It's cool, bro.
Mate, I woke up next to some freaking lions, mate. I tell you what. Some lions, some cheetahs, some freaking hyenas as well, mate. I'm sorry, I can't help but be
around, boy. He's been around.
I'm an old boy, like, you know what I mean? But anyway, I just can't help but, like, just... like being open and raw as well.
That's what it's about.
I'm saying some of the stuff you're saying is obviously touching me, but is it true? Waking up next to lions, you don't want to do that on a continuous basis. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's true.
You owe yourself better, man. You owe yourself more.
And this is the thing. Like going back as well to what you were saying before, to like the relationship stuff as well. Because I've got pieces. I do poetry. I've got pieces out there, and I've been through stuff as well myself. Like I'm sure everybody's been through stuff where you have to remember that you owe yourself more. It's all about you. This life, you're born, you die, you live on your own. You can let people into your space, but then people in your space and they're pissing on the floor, breaking the glasses and doing this other stuff, and you're sitting there watching it, but you love them and everything, but you're sitting there watching it. How long do you watch it until you get them out or you move house?
It's got a lot to do with image as well.
No, but I'm just saying that...
image and profiling,
But they're loving yourself though. What he was just talking about, the image and profile, definitely. But just that what was it you said? Sorry,
I can't remember.
See, but it's in see, I've lost it as well. But in a relationship, it's loving yourself.
Yes.
Like, apart from not tolerating nothing, no bullshit. You see the bullshit.
But how do you know yourself without getting away from image and profiling? Like a lot of people, like everything is about profiling and image. The reason why we get embarrassed is for profiling and image. The reason why we lie is profiling and image. The reason why we can't change things is because of profile and image. Like we have problems changing things.
I'm more talking about
a lot of the images. A lot of the things that stop us from learning ourselves is profiling and images. That's why they've now got social media, which you have a profile and images.
Mad.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like profiling and images is what ruins people.
Because you know what it is, so the profile and the image is another way of saying mask. These are masks that people are wearing. And we become versed at wearing masks. You know what I'm saying? Literally, this society or culture teaches you to do that. You know what I'm saying? Save face.
Yes.
Do not show... Stiff upper lip.
Come on.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Don't tell people.
Exactly.
Men don't cry.
Exactly. Hide your business.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Don't even talk to your family, I'm saying, about your business.
Yeah.
You know, pretend like you got it all together.
Yes.
Pretend like you woke up like this and you're suffering. And that's why I was saying the suicide rate is at an all-time high right now.
Yeah.
And the reason is because we've gone through a period where people have had to look in the mirror. And you see, when they look in the mirror, they're not just seeing themselves, they're also seeing what they've inherited from their parents. And a lot of people have not been given the tools to be able to unpack this baggage they're carrying. Now, after you get high and you come down off the high, the baggage is still there for you.
Yeah.
After you drink and you come off drink, the baggage is still there for you.
Yeah.
How do you unpack? A lot of us are not having these conversations like this that are addressing that. Now, people are suffering with their image and their profile, saving face while their heart is dying. You know what I'm saying? Literally dying. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even feel like they can tell their brethren or their wife or whoever because the brethren's in love with the profile.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The family's in love with the version of you. You're not even that version.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The version they want.
The version they want. The version that is actually consistent with their world.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I was going to say as well, you see, when we're talking about health, and this is something for the viewers, is to really understand responsibility is not blame. Taking responsibility for your health is not blaming yourself for how you've ended up.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Because you see what responsibility does? Responsibility gives you power. It gives you an opportunity to say, I've got a choice to make a different choice. You get me? To take a different action. When you go into the realm of blame with this voice in your head, that is actually coming from, I'm not good enough. I'm worse than that person. I should be here. I should be there. You're not. You're exactly where you need to be today. You know what I'm saying? And for anyone that's going to watch this, you're supposed to hear this. So now you can start from where you are because every moment's unique. Like we've got this whole fictitious idea of time, you know what I'm saying? Like time goes from here to here, it doesn't. You experience time in different places. Exactly. I go Africa, time's different. Yeah. Trust me, it's different over there, yup. Bro, the way I'm trying to move over there like I'm over here, it doesn't work.
No, they can see you looking at you. Why are you walking that fast?
Out of rhythm, everything, you get me? Time is different. Even the days feel longer over there.
100%.
You know?
And they don't even get darker that
No.
way. You know? But you're up earlier. For the sunrise, because you just naturally woke up.
Bro.
You don't even try to wake up, you just naturally woke up and you're like, the sun's rising.
So there's a difference. Come on, and you can't go back to sleep.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
The world. How many times have I pressed snooze? About 100 times.
You see the rain, like,
and you plan to be on time to work. Yeah.
So
and then you're running for the bus.
Come on.
It's long.
Come on.
It's
So
long,
I'm saying, time is relative.
Yeah.
It's relative. So going back to the diet, now diet isn't just about what you're eating, it's also about what you're consuming. And when I say what you're consuming, your environments and also your internal environment. Your internal environment in terms of what you're saying to yourself. The most important conversation is the one you're having with yourself.
Can I ask you something? We're gonna keep going along this line, but what conversation did you have with yourself to get yourself to where you are today?
Awesome. So how, what started for me or what the trigger was for me is, and it's interesting, very interesting. So in school, I went to a ghetto school.
I know, I remember.
What area did you go?
He's up the road at Hornsey, isn't he?
I grew up in Hornsey Archway, then I was in East as well. But I wasn't supposed to go to school I went to. But you know the ones, I got into a proper prestigious school, innit? But it was just expensive and we couldn't afford it. And I had nowhere to go. So I went to the most ghetto school that was still...
Drop the names, man.
Yeah, I went Highbury Grove.
Okay, drop the names. We don't know people went Highbury Grove, come on. We got the Highbury Grove massive. Come on.
So you see with Highbury, I remember my first week, everyone was fighting everybody, yeah? Not because I had a problem, you know. People want to know who was in the pecking order.
That's school.
Where you at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's school.
But it was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Because, if you survive there, you survive life, do you get me? Then you can start living. So in Highbury, there was one of my little brethren.
After the first year, innit?
Yeah, literally. The first year was the defining moment for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You get me? So one of my brethren was like, Albert, you need to read this book. You need to read this book. Because we used to reason. There was like the man then would just sit down reasoning and just talking about life. And at them times, no one had internet in their house apart from your rich brethren. Like I had a rich brethren in Archway.
And it was slow as shit anyway.
Yeah.
It was slow.
All you could really do was go on Messenger. But you know when you don't have much and you now experience something new, the gratitude is off the chain. Like for me, I remember like we had Yahoo Messenger. We didn't have internet at home. I think I just had a mobile that you could text. Texting was the technology then. Do you get me? Oh my gosh, you can text people.
Free text. You remember
I just came from having a pager because I remember back
I remember pages.
I had a pager for no reason. Who was paging me?
Yeah, I remember. You got
on my phone.
You go to the phone box and it cuts out, but you still.
Yeah.
I used to pull it on. You know, you used to get these alerts from the news and stuff like that. So I used to pull it on just to look like I was important. Yeah.
Walk away when the
Come on.
I run as well, discreetly.
So it's like, what it was, we had Messenger at my brethren's house. So them times we used to talk to people from halfway across the world, and them, I was so gassed. I was like, oh my gosh, you're in LA now. You appreciate things more. You know what I'm saying? When you're not given everything.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So that's very important for us to get, because it's the same with food. Yeah, I'm going to get onto that because there's a fast.
It's also a mindset slightly after it was a mindset slightly that you can, the same programming will help you appreciate stuff as well. When you came on the hierarchy, it helped you as well.
Absolutely. So when I went hybrid, one of my brethren was like, Albie, you need to read this book, because we were just talking about health. Now in my family there's been a lot of ill health. You know, my dad died of diabetes.
Yeah, rest in peace. I remember your mum flew back home.
Yep. So that was a defining moment for me. Because, you know, I don't know how it was for you lot, but I remember, like, as a child, I never had a concept of death, you know? I know it's different for different people when it dawns on you that this life isn't everlasting in the physical form, do you get me? But I remember one day I was watching a movie and it dawned, I think it was like My Girl. Do you remember the movie My Girl,
Like Macaulay Culkin? Yeah, I ain't seen it, but I know that it's this movie.
What was the girl from? What other film is she in?
Blonde little chick, innit? Yeah. I remember, I know Macaulay Culkin, I can't remember the girl, but it's probably one of them A-listers.
Yeah, when...
No, but it looks like
Claire Danes.
Yeah, I mean, when I watched that and he died, I just didn't understand.
Oh, he died in the end?
Yeah. It was one of the saddest.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the film. You spoiled the film now. Oh, man, I'm not watching it now. I'm not watching it.
But that film's ancient.
Yeah, I know. It's still
how he dies is so unexpected.
Very unexpected.
Seriously.
I'm not even going to tell you how. So.
I watched My Girl, Macaulay Culkin. He dies at the end, but it's a good film.
Yeah. It's even what you spoke about earlier, like allergies and intolerances and all of that stuff there. Yeah. So you see the synchronicity? Like, we weren't even planning this. You get me? Yeah. So I was watching it. I was like, what? Death? What's death? Come back to life. It was sad because I wasn't prepared for it at all. You get me? And
then sorry as well. Yeah. That Professor Nuts was the reason you was like you had that analytical look at it.
Yeah. Because I was like, then what does that mean for me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That was the question you asked yourself. Wow. How old was you?
Yeah, I was about 6 or 7.
Wow.
I was like, so if he dies, does that mean I'm gonna die? Yeah. So obviously, you know, like what children do, like children follow the example. 100%. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching, if he dies, that means, am I gonna die? Are we not gonna be here forever? Yeah. So I already started feeling that sense of loss at that age. Wow. Do you get me? Like, it was very keen for me. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to be able to like touch you again. I'm not going to say I love my mum again, all of that stuff. And then maybe 3 years later, it was like the rug was pulled from underneath my foot when my father passed away due to complications around diabetes. But in reality, diabetes is a symptom, The symptom is that his body can't handle sugar. But not just sugar in what we're talking about, like white table sugar.
And all that
Carbohydrates stuff. Is sugar.
Yeah.
That is a big epidemic right now. Most people are over fat. Over fat don't mean overweight. You can look like me and Longers and be over fat, meaning you've got lots of fat around your kidneys, your liver, visceral fat they call it, which is all around your organs. That leads you to cardiac arrest in terms of like high blood pressure, heart attacks, and also it would lead you into dementia, it will lead you into Alzheimer's, all of this.
Backside. And then how easy is it to check if you have these...
being over fat.
Not around your organs.
Yeah, so they can do tests for it in hospital. You can come to someone like me and we can see it on the scan. You know, so the visceral fat will come up. But then there's also something called adipose tissue. And
I'm coming next week.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. So do you have like a clinic?
That's what I'm sorry, I didn't get you. That's what you were saying earlier, I don't remember.
Listen, you lot.
No, we spoke about it earlier. For real.
I didn't hear about the clinic.
Okay,
some people still do. You know, like a lot of people that are like vegan, raw vegans.
Yeah.
Their consultancy is not because they've got a clinic. You know what I mean? It's just
serious.
Because they believe in it. You know what I mean? So I wasn't assuming.
Okay. What I do holistic health scans.
Wow.
Yeah. So people.
How does that work?
Sorry. What I want to do. Sorry, because I think it was very poignant.
Yeah.
You got to the point where the rug was pulled from underneath you. If you want to finish that story for us, let me just jump into that as well. No, I'm sorry as well. Cool. I just want to get the base of that as well, please.
That point. So the rug was pulled from underneath my feet, and my life was never the same again. because what happened is after my father passed away, and this is now like a lesson for everyone, he ate something because of emotional eating. And as a result of him having this ice cream, his blood sugar rose and it didn't come back down. Now, this is a man that's like...
Is that on one occasion?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is imagine that, like, an ice cream changed my whole life. Like, and so it's ironic because on one end it's stark. It's like, wow, that's funny. How did ice cream change your life? But it did. I may have not been here if that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? I may have not been on this path. You feel me?
No, I understand.
And that goes back to self-love. Remember I was talking about the self-love and the sugar? As a result, it cost him his life, and he was bigger than both of us.
Big. See, his stature comes from his father. Him, all his boys, you and your other brother, there's your four brothers, they're just big. Like, and if the fact he's eating raw diet and he's like this, I'm not surprised. But the way they've got that body, like Daddy P was a big guy.
Big
guy.
Nah, there's one that's like twice the size of
him. Twice the size of him. Twice muscles. Bruv, I have to look up to him, bruv. When he come through the door, it's like, just take my lunch money. Seriously, he's just, oh, mate. Got a lot of love for him still. Like, not just because he's big.
Take my lunch money, you know. So yeah, that happened. And then what it is, so that was like what you would call like a light bulb, life-changing moment. You know what I'm saying? My life was never the same again. Then I realized at that point, oh my gosh, if I do the same thing, I'm going to get the same results. There's a slim chance that I may not. You know what I'm saying? But it's like a 90% chance it's going to happen because I'm carrying that same DNA. It doesn't mean I have to inherit it. But if I do the same, then I'm going to trigger that DNA. Bam. So that was with me. Then the brethren in Hybrid Growth told me to read this book. When I read this book, it was just highlighting, like, it said, it's not if you're going to get sick, it's when you're going to get sick. When
that's where you got that epitaph from, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Exactly. And then it's so interesting because that one of my brethren's amazing. He then started, maybe 2 years later, started suffering with mental health. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and the reason I'm saying is because, you know, it's so important to understand that messages come to you through different people. And at the time, and what we often do is try and shoot the messenger. You're not an example of that. And then what happens? You miss out on the gift. He was chosen to bring me a message. You feel me? That's it. Just be grateful that the messages come your way. You feel me? Literally. My dad was chosen to bring me this message. I can sit here and be upset. Why didn't my dad live longer? And
ego emotion.
That's not going to bring him back. Yeah. What's actually going to honor him is that I live a legacy. You know what I'm saying, that makes his life worthwhile. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah.
Is that again?
And he's deaf.
Exactly. So that's how
I never met him, but I can see, like, I can see your mum in you. I've seen pictures of him. I see that. I can see them in you.
Absolutely.
You know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Because I know that even in them transitioning, this is good for the viewers as well. Because we often feel like when someone makes a transition, that's it. You know, and that's not true.
No way.
Because this is a suit. Yeah. Because if I was to make the transition now, this body will still be here. Why is everyone upset then? Because you recognize something inside, the essence is no longer there. You get me? That means the essence was never really here. You know what I'm saying? It shines through this body, which means the way you feel when you meet Albert or Long or whoever, that's actually the true essence. You get me? So you can tap into that anytime. You feel me? Literally. And this is no hocus pocus stuff. This is a reality. You can listen to Bruce Lipton. You can go and check out, and they're saying that, look, when you're dealing with the essence of a person, it's not in the body. You can cut the brain open, you won't find Albert in there. You can cut my heart, you won't. So what is this then? You know what I'm saying? We've got to start getting in tune with this technology that we're in, so we can start.
Wow, it's a lot.
So we can start appreciating it and learn how to use it. Because what it is, there's a manual for this body. Like, there's different practices like yoga, and these are manuals for the body. You start unlocking chambers of yourself that you never knew was there.
Wow.
And you start getting to the trauma. Wow. And then when you start feeding your body food that's vital, and I mean vital food, what you want to call, you can call it like alkaline food or electric food. I'm telling you, your faculties shift. Your faculty, everyone says it. When I put people on a program, their whole sensitivity goes off the scale, meaning stuff that coming up that they've not dealt with, that they deal with. And then their clarity goes, the way they taste food changes, you know what I'm saying? The way they breathe changes. All these things shift because we don't realize that most of us are surviving life. We've got bags and bags.
Rather than living it,
Yeah, and we've got so used to walking around with like 100 kg on our back, we think it's normal. It's not normal. You feel me? So that's how I started. And then I was like, when I read the book, I was like, all right, cool, I've got to make some change. I didn't know what I was doing. I just was like, all right, cool, I know I eat a lot of sugar, I know I eat a lot of junk food. I was thinking it was healthy because I think rice was healthy. I used to think like rice and peas was healthy because I was brought up on frozen food. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, low cost. All we used to eat was at the freezer. I swear to God, like me, him, his brothers, like we sit there every night with no burgers that weren't burgers, burgers that were just some slabs of thing, and we used to fight over them sometimes, like to eat them, like literally, and then chips that weren't chips, 2% chips. But it was always that's how we used to eat from the freezer on a daily basis. Daily basis.
It's a miracle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then crisp and chocolate and shit.
Well.
Say that again?
We were the first ones to have microwave meals.
Yeah.
And we thought it was amazing.
Oh my!
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah.
I was throwing everything in the microwave at one point, and then you throw your beef burger in it, come out chewy like rubber. It's like.
But the stuff was just like,
you gotta be, we gotta be thankful that we are here. You know what I'm saying? And we can have these conversations. Definitely. And when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
Times there, I was thinking that was better, and I realized, oh my gosh, the microwave food is a carcinogen. It causes cancer. There's all types of
education. When you know better, you do better.
You do better. And then, so I changed my diet. I just started cutting things out. I went proper like cold turkey in the sense of I would eat a lot of food that I liked. And I would have a conversation with myself when I was having this food. That's how I started really getting into the realms of the emotional eating. I was like, when I eat this, what do I feel?
Wow.
Trust me.
Wow.
When you start having that conversation with yourself, you start breaking the spell yourself.
So, this is what we're going to do now, yeah? We're going to reiterate, because things that I think are important, I want to reiterate. Yeah. So when you're eating that food, you're having problems with it, have the conversation with yourself. Understand what it's doing to you, why it's doing to you, how you feel. Do you really want it? Is it part of your manual? Is it going to help you enhance yourself? If the answer is no, you have to find a way to stop doing it.
Come on.
When you try to do things suddenly, it doesn't work as well. I don't believe it works. When you just try to cut things out suddenly.
Yeah, that's emotional.
Yeah.
No, but when that way there, it gives you the whole. It's almost like it's like a proper breakup. Like you sit there, you talk to the breakup.
There you go. It's like they say when a woman is going to leave a man, she's already left him 5 months before. You know what I'm saying? By the time when she walks out the door, that's not actually when she left you. She left you 5 months before. Don't joke with women. So it's the same thing with your food. You know what I'm saying? When you're actually starting to wean yourself off, have conversations, you need to really recognize, highlight what role this food is playing in your life, because most people's food, they see it as their baby. It's their baby. You know what I'm saying?
Their baby.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a brother that says, oh, food ain't your bae, yeah? And the reason is that because people are relating to their food to actually get all the things that they haven't got from their partner, haven't got from their parents,
excuse my French,
haven't got from
the
world.
He's dropped another bomb, innit? He's just gonna drop another bomb, innit? Because I'm a human as well, but I've said to my mates before, it's become easier as I got older, just to have a plate of food, a cake and custard and a movie. Because it's just less stress. They don't talk back. It just goes into what you're saying.
No eyes rolling and head shaking, you know what I'm saying? It's just there, you consume it. However, so I'm saying like,
it's a problem though.
It is, because although we're calling it food, most of what we're eating is poison. It's actually not food. And your body don't even recognize it as food. That's why when you eat it, you get tired or you get a stomach upset. All these things is your body trying to cleanse it out. So when we're saying like being tired or having the itis, it's not because you're tired. Your body is using its energy to get this poison out of you.
Wow.
And it's saying, you see what happens? So this is the thing, the body is the most intelligent organism on this earth. You don't have to think about breathing. You don't have to think about making certain minerals. Your body will take that food and make minerals. So we sit here trying to tell the body it's bad. That's some arrogance. Like, you're sleeping and your body's cleansing you. That's why if someone was to walk in your room and wake you up out of a shock, your eyes will be red. Why? Because the blood is going to your pupils to cleanse and regenerate and make sure that the cells are working fine. Your body, let me tell you, is your best friend. You're not going to get a better friend than your body.
And some people rather. Sorry, I'd hate to keep interrupting you, but I'll keep up with the things. Like, I know man that will wash their car, clean their car, put high performance petrol in their car. They wouldn't piss in their car.
Come on.
But then they'll eat the stuff that's equivalent of pissing in their own system. Do you know what I mean? They do everything, or the jewelry and the clothes, and they dry cleaning the thing. You know, like, I'm not being funny, but I've never washed my trainers, like not being an egghead. But I know some people that will go and toothbrush their trainers, but then they won't take care of their bodies. It don't make no sense.
It's mad.
They won't take care of their feet even.
No, it's true. No, it's true, bro. It's true. Everything you're saying is absolutely like bang on it. We take better care of our materialistic assets or materialistic liabilities, that's what most of them are, than actually our bodies, you know. And for the most part, I think with people, some people don't know. You You know,
yeah, some people don't know.
They're just ignorant.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
Do you get me? And others are not interested because it's not a trend. Remember, we spoke about trends. You get me? Because culture is very important. Yeah. You see, if you've been brought up in a culture where the temple's valued, you know, and the culture honors your temple, then what happens? You automatically have the language. And you remember I was talking about distinctions before, to know that, oh my gosh, every week I'm going to make sure I do 1 day fasting. Yeah. And on that day fasting, I'm going to take some cleansers to cleanse my blood, cleanse my liver, and cleanse my kidneys. You get me? And I'm going to just juice for that day. Because you see what happens? You see when you fast, fasting is your body's own sacred healer. You see when you fast, and I mean fasting negating food, your body's sacred healer comes online and your body starts to regenerate itself. And this ain't...
Ketonic state they talk about that?
Yeah, ketogenic. That's ketogenic. But don't believe me, research this yourself. You start to fast, a lot of issues you had or have, your body starts to deal with them. The problem is because people don't really fast and people are eating all day round, all times, your body doesn't even get a chance to heal itself. Your body's still trying to break down food.
So for me, there's the ignorant people. Then there was the what other ones you said?
Which ones?
The people, there's the ones that are ignorant, the ones that know better.
Yes.
But don't want to do it. But there's ones that want to do better. But to have the willpower, to make that transition between here and there, let's say. By the time they get here, they got like, did somebody say just eat? Yeah. And they got everything like, come and have this, come and have that. It's hard. It's really hard.
It's a battlefield, you know.
If you want to live healthier, like to get something, say for instance, takeaway, is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Even if you just like, say for instance, you just don't eat meat, to get something non-meat. Like obviously these apps can.
It's more expensive,
but you see, like if let's just say you're on the high road, you better just go and get some chips, then, innit?
Yeah, but to go into what you were saying before, that you not everything vegan is healthy as well. Exactly. Chips exactly what you're saying.
But a vegan man will. I've seen a lot of my vegan friends have to settle for chips regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because there's not much choice, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to get chips, innit?
And this is what I'm saying. You know, developing that discipline is probably like the first thing in the path or the road to claiming your vitality back, because this is actually a personal choice. It's about claiming your vitality back, claiming your health back, and that can only be done by you. People like me, you know, who I'm a transitional coach, so I support people. Yes, I hold people's hand and get them through it, but they got to do the work because they're with themselves 24/7. Do you get me? And what happens, you see, when you start looking at yourself through a magnifying glass, you start realizing actually your whole diet and that is a result of actually your family blueprint. The way you were brought up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way you were
exposed to.
Literally.
Where your values are, the TV you watch.
Literally.
The area you live in.
The way you've been brought up.
Yeah.
And then what we also don't realise is most of our parents were dealing with the same stuff. And you see with our parents' era of time, they didn't really have these tools. You know, a lot of them were doing the best with what they had.
Also, it was,
but some new though.
But also, there was, like, say for instance, if our parents was growing up in Africa, the meat they were eating was different. So even on that level, like, you know, like, even if we're gonna go before the diet changed, the fresh meat that they was getting and the fresh stuff that they were getting would have allowed it probably may help them to last longer. Yeah. So if we're measuring ourselves against our grandparents. I'm not saying it like that, but you got to measure yourself against the kind of food you've been eating. I mean, the kind of meat we ate and the kind of meat they ate.
But even down to the manufacturing capabilities, the propaganda machines, the accessibility of it. Like this, I know what I know, and I won't try to proclaim to know as much as you. And I know you know a lot of stuff, but I've soaked stuff up. And I don't watch stuff. I can't read that. But then the difference between what our parents that went through and what's available to us. The preserving methods they have now, the accessibility, the pesticides and stuff. We have fruit all year round, like that ain't even in Ras Clark season. So even if you're the vegan, you're eating that fruit. It's not giving you what it's supposed to be giving you because it's not. Because it's not natural anymore.
No, definitely not.
So it's still like if our parents were alive now, they might go to that unbeknownst, and then it's just mad. It's just it's mad.
And you know what happens? You see, so
how can you win that battle though?
So this is why, like, being a producer. You know, when I say producer, being a person who produces, is like it's almost like a necessity now. Yeah. And the reason I'm saying that, because if you don't produce, you are going to be very much dependent on who is producing. And whoever is producing, whatever intention or agenda they have, that's it. You don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You are literally at the beck and call of that person or that particular entity or that organization or movement. So if people are not putting themselves into a position where they're able to produce, you're a slave.
Did you not hear that? Because I'm hearing that. I hope you not heard that. Because people talk about black people and slavery. People about talk about modern day slavery, and they're sitting at home and they're slaves to everything that's going on. They're actually a living slave to the TV, to the food and everything. And let them things stop. Let them things stop like they did recently during COVID. There was no toilet. People lose their minds completely, when they can't take a pack of sausage off the shelf and put it in their frying pan. So if you're not producing, please repeat that again.
Yeah, if you're not producing, you're a slave.
Thank you. Go on. What was you going to say?
You know, you're saying people are losing their minds. It's a great point. Remember, people are losing their minds over sausages.
Over sausages and toilet roll.
What does that sausage represent to them? Because there's actually no immediate threat.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you're saying about, you know, not knowing as much as me, I don't really know anything.
We're not. Yeah, go on, let me finish.
You remember, like, we're all on this journey, you know what I'm saying? And our main commitment, or shall I say, the main kind of vow to live is to make sure you continue to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because what does learning represent? It represents change and transition, evolving, growing. Whatever's alive is growing. The trees and the plants are growing every single day. And the man that thinks he knows everything knows nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the man that knows he knows nothing can actually have the ability to gain it all. Do you get me?
Yeah, I know nothing. Yeah. I know nothing.
Hey, I know nothing.
I know nothing at all. Yes. Please teach me. I'm here.
And so what we're finding, common sense ain't common.
Definitely.
Common sense is the highest form of intelligence. Like, literally, see, when you're saying people are losing their minds over sausage, that's common sense. You can see that. But no one else could see that. Do you get me? It was like, there's a real threat. And you're going to go beef people over toilet roll. You know what I'm saying? If push come to shove, wash your bum with water. Do you get me?
It's very simple. It's economical.
Lets you know how fragile people are. And they've been fragile. When you are not the architect of your destiny and you're not in control of the direction of your life, what happens? You stay as a child forever. So most people that we're dealing with, and I mean adults, 80-year-olds, 90, they're still children emotionally. And so now what you can then see, if you look in our family, you see the same pattern. You know what I'm saying? You see, like, I remember I was having a conversation with my brethren. They were like, you know, relationships ain't like how they used to be. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I was like, what do you mean though? It's like, well, you know, with my nan, she stayed with my granddad, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I said, was she happy? You know, because we often don't ask these things. You get me? Yeah. She could have been. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She may have not been. She may have been doing it for the image and the profile. Do you get me? Because
and that's what it was back then.
Oh my gosh.
You get home,
I don't care. You can have 100 women. But you're definitely not leaving me. You know what I'm saying? Even if you come back here once a month. When you come here, we're going to church together. We're holding hands to keep up. You know what I'm saying? Think of what she had to go through. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's so important that you speak to your elders.
What's it like for you? Sorry.
That's all right.
What's it like? I don't know if you're in a relationship, but what is it like getting into relationships and communicating with people, having your lifestyle, having the life that you actually live, being so disciplined?
Can I say, add to your question, top of your question, and being on his frequency as well.
Being on that frequency.
Add on to what you're saying, like that's
being on that frequency, living that life, kind of going through the transition you've gone through. What's it like with you? Even, I don't want to say dating, just meeting people.
Yeah. So I'm not in a relationship, but when I was transitioning, I was in a relationship. So and that was beautiful. That was beautiful because, like, although I made the choice, and then when I made the choice and I started cutting stuff out, I met this person around the same time, and then they were like, well, they want to make the choice too, So we kind of went on a journey together, but I was obviously leading the way, But it was nice having someone else who understood, to get me. What was also very interesting is, so that maybe lasted 8-10 years and then disbanded. Now, during a relationship though, there was stuff that came up, because also what was coming up is, are you on this ship because you don't want to get left behind? Do you get me? Because that person...
Not because you want to be on the ship.
Yeah, because that person had to face When I'm not there and you're around others, you know what I'm saying, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And they yielded to peer pressure so many times, you get me?
Yeah.
And I had to tell them, nah, man, this is your journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No way should you be eating and grudging your food. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Better eat food and enjoy it and it not be good for you than grudge your food, you get me? So that was a whole realization for her, do you get me? Yeah. Then I had to have my realization for myself that it's my journey.
Yeah.
I can't be on this journey because you're with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work. You get me? Because then what happens is I'm not on this journey for the process. I'm on this journey for the company. Do you feel me? 100%. And the same way, you know, I came into this world by myself. I'm going to leave by myself.
Oh, yes. Say again.
So I came into this world by myself. I'm going to leave by myself.
Exactly, please.
But what's so important is that we get to share moments in this journey called life.
Bam.
So there's interactions. Bam. Now, what happens if you get that, oh my gosh, there's going to come a time where I'm going to transpire. Yeah. And I'm telling you, when I say you get that, you make peace with it, you can make the best of every moment.
Bam!
Because you're not going to let that petty shit get in the way anymore.
Come on.
You get me? Definitely. Even if you're with someone and they're behaving a certain way, you're like, I love you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to let you get in the way of our relationship.
This is why I even asked you. This is why the question even came up, because I'm aware that when you are vibrating at a certain place, it's hard to even, like, it's hard to connect. Not only is it hard to connect, it's hard for you to, what's the word, like, I don't know what.
Facilitate someone who isn't on the same level as him?
It's, facilitate, but not just facilitate, because he probably does want to facilitate. Being like how he is, he's probably open to facilitate. But there's this, again, when you're vibrating at a certain place, it's hard
but I'm just saying, if you got,
I don't know what else to say.
Can I ask a question? Maybe if I can try to elaborate. No. Imagine you've got someone, you met someone that has got the blockages within their system. They've got the childhood trauma that they haven't dealt with. Yeah. They've got maybe an eating thing as well.
None of those things would be a problem for him.
But they've got them things going on. So, but they will still have to be addressed, and then also you'd have to want to address them. I can't make you address what you're addressing. So even though we're having this interaction, if you're in this interaction and you're a person who doesn't want to address those things, which happens in relationships that I've been in the past, you don't want to let go of the fact that the last person cheated on you, or this person done this, and that drives you through everything else. Because I do one thing.
It can be intimidating to people as well.
Very.
When you've reached a certain level of discipline and you've reached a certain level of the things that you've said you've done, you've done it in front of them.
Yeah.
So it's like those kind of things, they become intimidating, not because they want them to be intimidated, but because they just haven't met themselves in that place yet. So it's like, right, you're very good at saying you're going to do something and doing it.
Yeah.
Just that part already is going to give you problems. Then you have the knowledge on top of it.
It will still be down to them, innit?
No, it is. But that's why I asked the question, what is it like getting into a relationship? Because again, I don't believe he has any problem having interactions.
Yeah. What some of the things you see? I get it.
Interactions is nothing. For him, like, and he probably, like, anywhere he goes, like, people want to hear what he's got to say. He's talking that again, but it's how much does he allow in, because he has to now block certain things, just to let someone in the door. He has to come down a level sometimes, even just to meet.
Or just let certain things fly.
Yeah, that's coming down the level. You know what I mean? You got to come down the level to meet you there and then take you up.
I get the different though.
I'm coming downstairs to meet you.
I don't think understanding is coming down. Like if he's dealing with someone, or if I'm dealing with someone, even you with your intelligence, if you in the game that you're in, if you're dealing with someone who's of a lesser knowledge than you, who's of a lesser experience, you don't come down for them. You take time, but you do them in a different way. But you don't come down for them.
I stayed within the balance.
Now, what I've discovered is one, I don't trust my eyes anymore, and I don't trust my mind. Because
I'm taking my hat off, man. Taking my headphones off. No, sorry, please. Could you just killing my brain today? Man, I'm dying here. Like this, because it's like, you know, when you smoke weed or you drink alcohol and it goes to the receptors in your brain. Some of the stuff this guy's saying is going to receptors in my brain. So I'm having a battle with myself right now. So why am I looking at this girl? Why am I looking at that girl? Why am I so based that I can't say girl buff and turn away? But thank you. Sorry, I put my hat back on. I'm sorry. I'm dying over. I'm sorry.
He's dropping quick gems and just trying to act like
sorry, man. God.
You know what I mean?
You're funny, bro.
Wow.
Now, the reason is because I realised that, you know, with my eyes and my mind, couple of things is, one, they can be programmed. You know what I'm saying? Literally, they just can be programmed for any agenda, and for any intention. Another thing as well, when you're dealing with your eyes and the mind, that's to do with the past. Your eyes are going to see what they've seen before. Literally. They can't step into a dimension or possibility that they've never witnessed. That's how the mind works.
Because even let's say if you got someone that's walking towards you, and you swore it was someone, you even saw their face. But as they got closer towards you, you're like, oh, it's not even that
because
bad.
you see what the mind does, it's going to compare this moment to all the data is picked up in your life from the past.
So that talk of supercomputer.
Yeah, bro, that's what it does. So it's very challenging for people to step into a new possibility. They won't even see it, bro. They only can see what they've seen and who they are right now.
So how do you switch off your eyes and your mind without being like, without walking to walls or getting hurt or whatever?
So getting hurt is part of it. Yeah. So there's a saying like, you must break your heart or allow your heart to be broken until it breaks open. Yeah. So
I've never heard that one before. That's a new one for me.
Life will break your heart until it breaks it open. Literally. All the stuff in the way from you being open and authentic is going to get broken by life. That's it. Whether it sends it through a girl, through a job, through brethren, it's going to happen. Yeah, let's be clear on that. That's another thing. A lot of us try to actually circumvent the actual challenges. 100%. And then what happens? You don't evolve. Let me tell you something. More dreams die in the comfort zone than actually die outside the comfort zone. You get me?
Again.
So, that's the reality. That's the reality. So it's
you're missing all of this.
More dreams die in the comfort zone than
outside.
Don't get comfortable.
That's the worst thing to do in life, is to get comfortable.
Don't get comfortable.
It's the worst. So what it is the question now. So what it is,
this was from the man behind the camera.
What I got is that like the eyes and the mind deal with the past.
Okay,
that's their design. It's not bad. That's by design. So if you want to step into a new possibility or new future, there's a few things that I've acquired. One thing, bro, that is so important is patience. Patience is a virtue, not just because it's a virtue, you know what I'm saying? Because what patience does, it enables you to be in tune and in alignment with the season of your life, Whereas a lot of us have been told, by this age you should have this, by that age you should have that. That's a program. And who were they using as the example? You understand?
Who's the example? Yeah, no, who's example?
I've never met him.
Perfection.
I've never met him.
The one I'm truly in tune with, and I'm sure the man in the corner will know about this as well. The one not looking is, I want to have a baby till I'm 30, and I want to have this, and I want to have that.
That's
I'm not interested in you because you're not going to be husband, because that's what I want. And then 32, 33, 34, 35 comes, and they're still sitting there saying, well, it's a lot. It's a lot, no? I've heard that so many times. Like, that's just one of the things. It's one of the things.
And then think of what happens,
the pressure you put on yourself.
Come on.
Pressure.
Every time that particular goal or objective is not met, a piece of you dies. A piece of you dies. You're not even seeing it as I'm getting redirected. You know what I'm saying? Because life often redirects you. You get me? And why? Because that wasn't your purpose. You get me? But no, a piece of you dies. You make it about you. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough money. I'm not man enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we kill off ourselves. And then when you kill off yourself, your dreams die too. Then all you would do is be in a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Exchanging your time for money and using that money to pay bills. So,
can we have a moment of silence, please? No, serious. Just like 2 seconds silence.
We'll talk.
This is not silence, guys. It's not silence, seriously. No, just repeat the last thing. We need a moment of silence for that. Please. All right, thank you, guys. That's perfect. Yeah, all you want to end up doing is working the job and getting what?
Exchanging your time for money.
Your time for money, something you could never get back.
To pay bills.
And buy clothes and buy stuff you're not going to wear. Definitely. That's going to fade away and die.
And within all of that, your heart is dying. Because that's it. That's the biggest epidemic right now, is people's hearts are like dead. Most people, and I mean, it's happening to like black boys by the age of 13. You can see it. Like what you can literally see it from the child who was very vibrant and then come back 5 years. Oh my gosh, can't look in your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like literally now, and also can't even be stimulated unless there's something like Instagram or something there, you get me? So you see it, you see the life get taken out of them, do you get me? Then what happens, you see when the life is getting taken out of you, you're going to try and eat your way back to life. And then when that doesn't work, you'll smoke your way back to life. You get me? And when that doesn't work, you will drink your way back to life. You know what I'm saying? Then when that doesn't work, you'll start pulling out nice and chopping up other people.
Or you miss one out, or the sex.
Yeah, sex. Sorry, there's that one.
You want to give your body away, give your body away, and you're just empty.
Exactly.
Like you said, it's just I think it always comes down to the uniqueness of people and people's tolerance and people's characters. Because there's some people that there's some people that are super healthy. Yeah, and the reason why I say you're one of the best people I've heard spoke that has your lifestyle. Because a lot of people that are vegan and that, they'll put you off just by their attitude. Like, I don't want to be like you, man. You know, whether it's a woman or that. Yeah. And then sometimes I've just questioned people and said, why are you doing this? And I've had people in tears. Like, I just asked them, why are you doing it? Like, why? I understand
they're not
what you're doing.
Question or challenge, do they?
No, but they're telling people. I'm saying because you got to be careful how you're telling people as well. Because some people are like, what you're eating, that's gonna rot in your belly, and it's gonna do what it's doing in your belly. It's just rotting and
fear mongering.
No, but yeah, you can kill someone like that. Yeah, that's what I was telling someone. What you can kill someone like that. So you still have to have your purpose for why you do it. But when you allow people, when you feed people to knowledge, don't feed their brain to
fear.
Fear.
Yes, because you see, it's another thing. You see it with parenting as well. You know, because obviously. Long as I was talking about what I do in terms of coaching and family.
I love the frequency. I was going to ask you about that.
Is that you often find that parents discipline their children out of fear.
Definitely.
Dangerous. Because you see what the child's doing. The child ain't going to just pick up that I done this wrong. Yeah, they're going to pick up the fear and the pain that you're actually instilling into them. Definitely. A child knows the difference between discipline from love and discipline from fear, because they're two different frequencies. You've got tough love, and tough love is like what your coach would give you. Do you get me? You know, you do not want to be there doing 100 sit-ups and press-ups. You feel like you're gonna vomit, but because your coach believes in you and they're pushing you, there's something deep within you. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I'm still gonna go beyond this pain and continue to strive. That's different. But when it's out of fear and pain, and usually that fear is coming from the fear the parent holds within themselves from their own life, 100%. From their own wounded child that they haven't dealt with. Do you get me? 100%. So what happens in that is the child will pick up the pain, and then what that child will do, if the child is not able to displace the pain, suppress it, it is going to take over their life. 100%. You know what I'm saying? And then you've got something they call trauma bonding. Trauma bonding is when people have the same trauma, they bond. So you start finding partners.
That's how people get with people that they mirror as well.
There you go.
So it's like you get with people because you mirror them anyway.
Literally. And you know, it's unconscious, you know.
Yeah.
It's unconscious, but there's a familiar feeling, because you got to remember, people want connection. Yeah. That's ultimately what people want. So it's like, I can connect with that pain within you. Do you get me? Yeah. And then before you know it,
it's sad, because
this is the reality.
As I'm hearing and I'm thinking, and I know all the stuff that I know about what's going on and stuff, and it's like you've got all these kids having kids, which is the whole generation that we're talking about now. A lot of people they didn't know how to parent. It wasn't helped to parent. They would have gone through stuff like what's the thing after you have a baby?
Post-traumatic.
No, is it postnatal? Is it postnatal? Whatever.
Postnatal is just
postnatal depression or whatever you have. Yeah. Some women have gone through that. Guys who've got their baby mum, just because they're arguing with them, they're not letting them see the kid. Yeah. So they're going through stuff as well. And all these emotions are being rained onto the child. So even when the child's going from to and fro the house, these are the children that are 13 and growing up and are empty. This is just my analysis.
And again, programming the agendas that are going on at the same time.
But it's just fucking sad.
It is. And you know what happens as well? Let me say what happens with the children. There's something called emotional incest. Yeah. And what emotional incest is that children are often forced to deal with the misplaced and displaced emotions of their parents. So now they've got to mediate between their parents. So when I'm around mum, I can't say this because she's going to cuss off dad.
Horrible.
When I'm around dad, that's abuse.
Horrible, yeah. They can't even be children. Horrible.
That's abuse.
Horrible.
Literally. And this is happening consistently. Across the board. And the reason it's happening and it's not being recognised as well is because the reality is the parents are children too. Yeah. They've not been able to evolve beyond that age, and then they've had children, you know. So this isn't.
It's the sad part of the reality.
This isn't putting blame on anyone.
Yeah.
But the first, you see now, going back to health, it's all part of health. Yeah. Because you see what happens when these things are going on. It's going to show up, and how it even shows up in women is fibroids. Yeah. That's how it shows up. Fibroids is a massive issue right now. Like when I say massive. Huge. And a lot of women are embarrassed about them when they shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? And so they feel a way to talk about it because like, I've got this thing growing inside of me. They don't know that, like, literally, these women as well, one thing is that, and especially when we're dealing with women, first of all, and I say this consistently, like, you know, with women, a man or us, we do not know and will never know what it feels like, you know, to be in that woman's body. To have a child. That's like the hardest job in the entire world. And yes, we're part of it. But when your body starts changing and you're carrying a baby, and then a whole head's got to come through you.
No, it's not.
Like they need seriously. They need women should be on holiday, like mothers anyway. Like mothers should be on holiday.
No, I have to concur. I've got a few children, and what you're saying, just the whole pressure that having another life, creating another life from inside your body, then that incubate inside your body, the whole pressure that puts in your system. If I had it on, I'd take it off. In fact, let me put it on and take it off. To all the mothers out there that have born children, have raised their children, even all the mothers out there that may have lost their children, sorry for your loss as well. You tried, you know, like it's not easy. It's not easy at all, man. Definitely, man. Definitely.
Because like if women were to say no more, the whole world shuts down. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. And there's also a saying that says a nation will never rise above the frequency of its women. And the reason is because the frequency of that woman when she conceives will determine what type of soul comes through that woman.
So now, going to what we said now, the way that the woman is being portrayed in social media, the way that people are allowed to talk to or treat women, the way that what women are accepting. Let's get aside from, because there's a lot of dark stuff going on, like the abuse and all that, and we're not tolerating that. Like me too, we're not tolerating none of that stuff. But on the flip side of that, you've got the whole glamorization of sexuality. It's like most kids now, the way they're dressing, it's like nothing is left to the imagination. It's like you're advertising something you can't actually sell anyway. Like you don't want to be selling. It's just. Huh?
See, a lot of like again when we was hearing about the stuff that is programmed towards our senses. So everything that they sell towards us is programmed towards our natural senses. So even when they're selling sex towards us, it's all programmed towards our natural senses. So they know that I can sell it to you this way, I can sell it to you that way, because it's all programmed to our natural senses. Like it's programmed to that love feeling, it's programmed to that satisfaction feeling, it's programmed even to the lust feeling. So these are all things that are within us from nature. These are the things. If we was just animals still going like that.
But it's still like my thing is, and I totally agree with it. This is like it's just saddening. I'm sad inside about the stuff I see, and it's like it should be saddened. I'm saddened because of what I know. It's the difference between certain people falling between the cracks, or getting fucked up, or going drinking, or getting abused, or staying in an abusive relationship. Is someone like you, me, him, her, or someone there for to come. Listen, don't eat those berries. This is now we're going back to hunter gatherer. Don't eat them berries. Them berries will give you the shits. Don't eat that thing. That's gonna kill you. Come this way. Don't watch that program. Don't do this.
But you tried.
Come.
You tried.
Huh?
And so you tried.
You tried?
I replaced the feeling that you said you're feeling, the sadness. I replaced that feeling with gratitude.
What do you mean?
Just being grateful for like obviously the other stuff. Instead of me being sad about that over there, let me be grateful for what I've got.
And that you're aware. And then another thing, you see this is, and don't get me wrong, the sad feeling is a great feeling. And why it's a great feeling, one, is because you're compassionate. You're showing compassion. It means your heart's still beating. Do you feel me? You can't just ignore it. You feel me? Which is awesome. So the next thing, there's stages to this though. After you get through the sad feeling's there because there's love there, you know. So now you must then
love everybody.
You tap into the race, standard. You tap into the love, and then when you tap into the love, inspiration comes, and that inspiration comes by way of now. All right, how can I be a solution? You know, how can I start with me? So that's how it happened with me with changing the diet and all that. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But I just knew that, okay, look, this has happened in my family. Like, I was in grief. That's another thing. Let me tell you something. Grief is an epidemic right now.
But not addressing it as well.
And I don't even mean just grief with people dying. I mean grief, like grieving what you've lost in life. You know, relationships, childhood, dreams, and yes, people transitioning. And because we're not recognizing our grief, we're medicating again with food. That's what's happening. And on the other side of grief is love. Grief can only be held in places there's love there. So the reason I keep saying this is because when you start stripping all this back like an onion, you're left with the same thing again, which is love. But a lot of us now, it's like the process of stripping away is difficult because we're used to wearing the mask now. And although we're suffering, I know this suffering. And because I know this suffering, I want to hold on to it. You understand it? Yeah, if I let go, I don't know what's out there. So let me just hold on to his suffering, or those killing me.
I would say that it's comfort for some people.
Yeah, some people absolutely comfort. Why do you think we're watching all of these things on TV that's just showing us like low type of frequency living? Do you get me? We watch Love Island, we watch this, EastEnders, problem after problem after problem after problem after problem, and we love it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, well, my life is so bad, but their life is worse.
I don't watch that stuff.
That's why they put like Jeremy Carlin and things like that.
I don't watch none of that.
Yeah,
I don't watch none of that.
But if you got work, all you'll see is Eamon Holmes and people there. If you get what I'm saying, But if you ain't got no work, you're gonna see Jeremy Carl because that comes up with GMTV's completely done. Everyone's at their motives by it. And then you're seeing these people with no teeth.
Wow. I'm alright.
Let me go to work, man.
Literally, it's like the lowest common denominator. But it's by design. I'm saying like ultimately the message is that it's about developing the courage and the vulnerability, to own your truth. Definitely. And to own your story. Because if you don't own it, you can never transform it. Yeah. If you do not own it.
Okay. So if you don't own it, you can never transform it.
You can't transform it. No. Because it's like this. If I believe right now that I'm in Brixton and I'm trying to get you to come pick me up and take me home, I'm going to be giving you some wrong directions, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not in Brixton.
I don't know if we're going to go somewhere else. I like that one. Just the way you explained it, oh God, I was like, that guy, yeah, for real.
So when you own, your truth, you're owning actually where you are right now.
My location.
Yeah, your location, bro. And then you can drop a pin and plot for where you want to get to. Yeah. Wow. But to own it means you've got to speak the whole truth to yourself first, about your story, about who you've become. You know what I'm saying? Your vulnerability.
And you can't hide from yourself. No, you can't hide from yourself.
No,
you can't.
And, many people have tried and just go around in circles.
I think that's what happens when people trying to hide from themselves, but then they come across maybe a person like you or any person in reality at any given time, and they're using all their energy just to conceal that, rather than just being in the moment. That's why it's freaking draining for people.
It's exhausting, bro.
You don't fit in.
Huh?
You don't fit in.
No.
You don't fit in?
You don't fit in.
No.
Because you got to remember, in order to even have these friendship groups, you know how much fake elements are there for everyone to be friends and to look like this all the time. Like for me, like most of the people that I'm around is for like common interests and things like that. Like common goals at least. Because like, without us having no goals or no aim, you know what I'm saying?
You know me, I don't stay around. When things ain't going, I'm gone. You know me, I'm like, I'm late, I'm going home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'd rather be on my own.
Yeah, standard.
I would rather be on my own.
And remember, you see, your time on Earth is minuscule.
100%.
Like there's trees outlive us. Like bless them. They outlive us by hundreds of years. So this human life is so short. You can't be wasting big time on small things. You get me? Or with small-minded people.
You can't be wasting big time on small things or with small-minded people. I'm sorry to be the parrot in this, but there's so many gems here. I have to keep reiterating them.
Yeah, no, we'll talk.
Wow.
We'll talk. And this is why loneliness, in terms of that solo journey, that hero's journey, the hero's journey and the solo journey are two sides of a coin. They're interchangeable. There's a period of time where isolation's always needed, to be by yourself, because if you're not by yourself, you're not going to know yourself, and that retrospection, that introspection is so critical. Because what happens, you see now, so like your question about like me meeting a woman, a wife and all of that, I was like, boy, if I keep using my eyes, I'm only going to get what I've got in the past. 100%. So now what I'm doing, I'm trusting my heart, and what that means is I've got to be patient. That means also I've got to keep doing the work on me. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because you see, when you do the work on you and you're on a certain frequency, you attract that frequency. Yeah. It's the same like us being here. There's something in all of us that's brought us here in this space and this time. Because we could have...
I was peddling.
My bike too as well, innit?
And he had food here as well. Like, sorry.
But you remember, this could have happened last week, remember?
Yes.
Or the week before.
Yes.
Why this
You would have been
week
sitting
and
there,
now and
there.
us?
Yeah.
Like we start taking these things for granted, but trust me, like what you were saying when we first came, you're like, boy, we're not in control. There's something else in control. Do you get me? And you see, life is actually the journey back home, and what that means is the journey of realizing, oh my gosh, all right, I'm not in control. There's something higher, whatever you want to call it, your higher self, the most high, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then surrendering to your calling, because there was a calling that we call purpose. Yes. You feel me? And so we come off of our purpose as because we have free will. Yeah. But when we come off our purpose, get this. Like, you can stay off of it, but you see that feeling when you're not on purpose, that's also the feeling that we will refer to as emptiness, depression, you know, melancholic, or being in melancholy. Melancholy. Yeah, and then also being low-spirited, you know, having no direction. All these things are your internal guidance system saying you are not in the current of your life. You know what I'm saying? There's many other currents, and sometimes what we tend to do is jump on other people's currents, as opposed to respecting our own current. Do you get me? That's
stay in your lane.
Yeah,
stay in your lane.
And so that kind of melancholic feeling and all of that, we'll stay in your lane. But it's also important. You remember The Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Yeah. Bad movie. Yeah. Oz it's a bad boy movie. Yeah. It's a great movie, and the reason is because Dorothy.
Got one name in my poem.
Yeah, wizard. Yeah.
No, I think the line goes: the yellow brick road is yours to take.
Come on.
It's about life. It's a poem about life, but the line goes: the yellow brick road is yours to take.
Come on, follow the yellow brick road.
Hey,
follow the yellow brick road.
Hey, follow the yellow brick road.
You're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Right, it's bad, yeah.
Oh my.
The reason why it's so bad is because what it is, it's a motif for life. It's a motif for the journey of living, this school that we call Earth. Why? Dorothy, she left the comfort of the picket fence with Auntie M, yeah? Auntie M is her auntie and all that. And she was receiving love there, but she felt it wasn't enough and there was something missing that she wanted to go and look for, you know? You could call it boredom, whatever you want to call it. She then left, got caught up in a storm, yeah? And that storm represents the winds of change, you know what I'm saying? The winds of change are always going to happen. That's one thing that's consistent with living, is things are going to change. Appreciate the moment. That's why being present is so important. She got swept off to an enchanted land, and in this enchanted land, she had to discover herself. And she had to go up this yellow brick road. There was fairies, there was witches, there was all of this. They were all there. You know what I'm saying? And so the witch also presented the challenge, you know what I'm saying? And this was the challenge in her getting to know herself. She then came across a scarecrow, you know what I'm saying? And the scarecrow, he was looking for a brain, you know what I'm saying? In order to be able to discern life, you know what I'm saying? And be able to be strategic. This was a coming of age story, meaning her going from being an adolescent into a woman, like a rites of passage. And then she met the actual lion who needed courage, you know, and that's courage to face your truth. You know what I'm saying? It's courage to be vulnerable. Then she met the Tin Man who needed a heart, you know what I'm saying? And the heart is about actually you really honoring your purpose and speaking your truth. And the yellow brick road is really symbolic of the Kundalini energy or Jacob's ladder. That's you rising up your frequencies, you know what I'm saying? Literally, because that's what it's representing.
You're closer and closer to the Emerald City. Literally,
yeah, exactly. The Emerald City is the heart. Because that's what the heart chakra emanates green, you know? So when she went to go and see the wizard, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm here now. You're meant to take me home. And it was all an illusion, you know what I'm saying? Because what the wizard said to her, my power, or the power you seek from me, you've always had the ability to go home. You've always had it. And then she was click, click, click. There's no place like home. And the shoes, which were red, represent the root chakra. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you activate here, literally.
You're blowing me away, man.
So
I have to hold on tight for everything. Listen. You have to go back and watch the Wizard of Oz. Analyze that differently. Understand the subliminal messages that you're getting given, the jewels you're getting given.
Literally.
And just follow your road in life.
Your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, what is your lane? And if you don't know what it is, ask the questions. You know, seek out what actually you're naturally drawn to. Not to actually be popular. You know what I'm saying? Because often we can't tell the difference, you get me? There are things we're naturally drawn to and they feel like play to us. We're not even trying, you get me? And you see, that is usually an indication of where your purpose is leading you. And a lot of us, it's another issue, a lot of us believe our purpose is just one thing. your purpose is a process. It's not just one thing. And you often see it with a lot of the celebrities that, oh my gosh, I was the greatest singer, I was the greatest artist. Who says you're still supposed to be the greatest singer?
I always say that.
You may need to be...
How long are you supposed to be idolized for?
You may need to be a baker. You know what I'm saying? You may need to be an inventor, but no, the ego is holding... Yes. You know? But we make that chapter the whole book. And then we suffer. And then we chase our previous success. And we suffer. Because that's never going to happen again.
So true.
Yeah. Once you succeed, once you reach the pinnacle or the peak, you reach the peak.
But there's other peaks.
Other mountain, move to the next mountain.
Move to the next mountain. You can do things humbly.
Come on.
It's like sometimes you always want to be things like that. Sometimes you just want to do it at this level, and I enjoy it at this level. I don't want to do the biggest.
Come on.
Or sometimes you want to go bigger. Do you know what I mean? But you still have to find that place and be kind of comfortable with it and respect it as well. You know, like I say, you're not always going to be going like that. But sometimes there's people that still get like tours. Come on, like them R&B guys.
Bro, there's so many working artists.
Hold on, who don't think wasn't that what's his mate the other day? Smeghead. Craig, the bloody Red Dwarf.
Okay, yeah.
What's his name? The guy from Red Dwarf. Craig. It's Craig. I know it's Craig Charles. Is Craig Charles? Yeah, Craig Charles. He's DJing the other day, smashing it. His set was amazing. I can't lie to you. He played stuff like what's it, Pusher Man, and he played his old songs, but he killed it. I was rocking and dancing. Everyone's rocking, but it came from his heart. It was amazing. His set was banging. It was just like, oh my god.
Even the guy from JLS, all of these different people, like they DJs.
But I'm saying from him doing that and the journey, it was like, mate,
you're accepting the transitions. Do you know what I mean? When you accept the transitions, you can transition.
That's it. And lastly, like, life is, and this goes into health as well. Life is one long, indivisible process of rites of passage. And when I say rites of passage,
you have to elaborate on that, because you lost. Like when you hit me. Is what life is one indivisible journey
or process
of rites of passage.
And all rites of passage means is going from one state to another. So how rites of passage is defined when you're in a cultural setting is when women, or young girls reach 13 or they start their period, they go off to what they will call like a bush school, where they get taught the secrets of the universe and how to look after yourself as a woman, and your sacredness as a woman, and so on and so forth, really, so they understand the principle and also get closer to their purpose and get also nurtured into how to literally harness their purpose. Because if that doesn't happen, it's a gamble. Same thing happened with boys as well. Boys get to a certain age, they go off and they get taught by elders, you know what I'm saying, how to fully use this, you know what I'm saying, and bring these gifts here for the community. Because every soul that's born has gifts for the community. But if that soul is not activated, what can happen is that soul can burn down the community. And there's a there's a phrase.
That's what's going on right now.
That's exactly what's going on. There's a proverb that says, initiate the child, or else the child will burn down the village in order to feel its warmth. So it says, initiate the child, or the child will burn down the village to feel its warmth. And the reason is if that child don't get initiated, the child doesn't actually get christened into the truth of itself. And if it doesn't get christened in the truth of itself, it's going to be disconnected from its soul. And when it's disconnected from itself, it's going to do things. You know what I'm saying?
That are disconnected, like the nonsense we're seeing all over.
Bro, it's the same. This is
and these people, a lot of these children now, God bless you all. I feel sorry for you, but we're going to help you in some way, shape or form. Like they're just disillusioned. They're not given that at 13, 12, whatever. This is what you should be doing. This is what we should be doing. So they're getting fed this.
Literally. Then kicked out. 18. Be a man.
Nonsense. And then you got the parent with the violence, and then the disparity between, okay, you're going to your dad's, but don't tell your dad about this. Or you're not seeing your dad. Or you're not. It's so much going on, man.
It's a lot.
Opposed to just loving our children and growing them.
It's a lot. And this is why what's great is just having these conversations. There's a frequency here.
Definitely.
Do not get it twisted. Let's not underplay or take for granted what frequency does.
100%.
Just for having this conversation, we create a frequency. That frequency moves.
Yeah.
It moves, literally.
We don't even need to. They don't even have to watch this.
No.
But just the fact that this conversation is happening, it's going to happen
Come
elsewhere.
on.
Wow.
And the reason is because you see in this conversation, our internal state transforms.
Yes.
And you don't see life, from the outside in. It's not how it works. life you see in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the reality is subjective.
Yeah,
the more we walk around with this, the more we make this our reality, and it spreads and spreads and spreads, and then actions come. Yeah. So I'm not just saying sit down and do nothing. Actions come. You get inspired. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me do that. Definitely. That's how the frequency grows. You get me? Definitely. If we start talking about the problem, you're going to get more of the problem.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest tricks. You start talking about the problem, you are giving power to that, and you're just going to recreate. That's why I said the mind and the eyes, you've got to be so careful.
All right, I love everything we spoke about. We're going nice and deep, man. Let's talk about how and what kind of foods, diet-wise, that people are novice who's first embarking on the raw, not even raw, because you're a raw vegan, you have a raw vegan diet, which is, I think it's harder than a vegan diet because it's all raw food.
Yes.
But go on.
So I was raw vegan for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Then I've moved on. So now I'm not 100% raw. I'm maybe like 70 or 80 because I learned that. So when I was in this raw vegan lifestyle, I became a raw vegan chef as well, because when I got into it, there was no one making tropical foods that were raw and vegan, and people thought it was just like seeds and nuts. It's not. You know, I can make pizza raw, just use different ingredients. Yeah, I can make jollof rice raw, use different ingredients, because I had to learn.
Does it taste like jollof rice?
It tastes similar, yeah. And what's great about it is you don't even have to have as much, because when you're eating raw foods, the enzymes are still intact. So when you eat
it's not denaturized at all.
It shuts off. Your appetite's like, I've had enough now, I'm good, and you feel light as well. But I also got...
I remember you never had a six-pack. Probably got about 8 or 12. Like, I'm sorry to put it on the spot. I remember never. Go on.
Took work, boy. But yeah, so what it is with the... I just also got... It's so important not to hold on to titles, yeah? Because now, when I was doing the raw vegan, which I still do, oh, you're the raw vegan, and now you come like some pin-up for everybody. Do you get me? And that's what happens even when you're in the music industry and that same pin-up becomes your prison.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? 100%. You want to step out and evolve, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Because they've got you up there. So I started learning that there's more to health, you know, than just even the raw vegan. You know what I'm saying? So then I started experimenting. So for the most part, a novice, you want to have at least 60 or 70% of your food raw. Yeah, that's just for the most part. However, I started learning about alkaline food. Then I started learning about the keto food and the keto diet and that. So now that's I've really learned about how important it is to lower your carbs. So someone that's just starting off, yes, 60, 70% raw. What does that look like? Fruits, vegetables, salads, sauces as well. But
sauces, we used to sauces.
So, for example, like what's very good is that you can make like raw hummus. You can have hummus, or you can have guacamole. Yeah.
Okay.
These sauces, you can make them raw. It's so easy to make it raw, and that's part of your daily. Your 60%. Do you get me?
Okay.
Yeah, you have a smoothie. That's part of your 60%. Because when people hear about like eating raw or increasing your raw foods, they start thinking it's complicated. It's not. You're doing a lot of these things anyway.
When I hear raw, even I'll eat an apple, I'll eat this, I'll eat that. When I hear raw, I just think I'm sitting there like going, and eating stuff like a potato and just eating stuff I just wouldn't actually be eating.
Not. I make like cheesecakes raw, but we just don't use dairy. There's other ingredients in it.
Do you know we're gonna have to at some point? We're gonna film you going through that process. We'll make one up.
Yeah,
I'll cook as well.
All right, perfect. Let's do it.
You're vegan versus meat, or no, maybe not vegan versus meat.
I can't be around you.
This guy.
Just passing you the pan over there.
He wants to do a versus battle, yeah?
Yeah. The pitfalls and the benefits.
So, so I really learned about the alkaline foods, but I also more so learned about people's bodies digest food differently. So it's important to understand what your body wants, what your body can tolerate, what your body can't tolerate. Some of the examples are if you eat something and you're bloated, your body can't tolerate it. That's just straight. Like,
listen to your. You're saying listen to your body, innit?
You get bloated after food, your body can't tolerate it. That's
Go on.
That's one of the simplest. You get gas.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, flatulence.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, flatulence.
The belching. all of that, yeah? So these little things is what the audience can start just being aware of. You want to start being aware. Make a little note. I eat that, I feel like this. I eat this, I feel like... Because what it is, it's like you're in a maze and you're trying to find your way out. You know what I'm saying? So the more you make these little notes, the more you start understanding, oh, when I have dairy, I literally start breaking out, you know what I'm saying, in a rash, or it triggers eczema. Or when I have these crisps, you know what I'm saying, I get
Why do you say that? Is that the same? Is that what it sounds like, yeah?
You know what it is? I'm trying to make it so basic, yeah. Because it is, it's like that, but what happens is a lot of emotion around it. Yeah. So people don't think of it like that. It's, oh my gosh, man, why can't I just eat these foods? It's not food. Your body's telling you it's not food. So it's about listening to your body and honoring it. Because your body keeps your heart beating. Your body's there for you. Why in the one area, where you're confused, you make your body the baddie. Where every other area, your body actually, you sleep at night, you breathe, your heart beats, you go toilet. Your body's your best brethren, yeah? So, firstly, what I'll say to people is increase...
Wow, I'm going to sit back and watch this a couple of times.
Increase their raw food, yeah? And you can do that via smoothies, yeah? That's good. Or incorporate more salads, yeah? Incorporate more kale, more spinach, more rockets. And then what you can also do is you want to have your fruits. You don't even have to have too many sweet fruits. You can have the melons, you can have the berries. The berries are some of the best things you can have.
Antioxidants.
Antioxidants. And what the berries do, they stimulate your lymphatic system, and your lymphatic system is what carries your blood around.
Blackberry, strawberry, blueberry, all the berries.
All of it, yeah, there you go. And why that is so important, because it deals with cellular waste. What happens when your body's not getting rid of, and I don't mean food, cellular waste is different, it's from your cells. And that gets, your lymphatic system gets rid of that. If that doesn't actually leave your body, it turns into issues like cysts and cancer and all these other things. Shit. So your lymph is very important. Even though like in a gym when they've got those vibration plates, that's very good for your lymphatic system. Jogging, dancing, sweating, sauna, steam room, these are great for your lymph. Your lymph would also help your brain clear if you've got foggy brain and stuff, because a lot of people get brain fog. They eat food, they get cloudy, you know what I'm saying? That's just you.
I've never ever heard of that.
Yeah, brain fog's a big thing. But people will then go and like drink Budweiser or something like that because they're like, oh my gosh, my energy's low, I need to work. And the reason is because when they eat, you see, you've got a system, they call it your enteric nervous system.
Enteric nervous system.
Enteric nervous system. That's to do with your colons, yeah? But it's actually, they call it your second brain. Why? Because that's where you feel from. That's where you get your butterflies. That's where you get your gut instinct. Now, with like...
enteric?
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that area, like the Buddhists and that, they train that in terms of they train their connection to that area, because this, in terms of your first brain, what they call your first brain, that can get programmed with anything. This can't get programmed. This just deals with truth. You know what I'm saying? So what it is...
Wow!
Yeah, it just deals with truth. So if you're eating food that's toxic, what you do, you decrease the efficiency of your gut instinct. Your gut instincts, let me be very clear, that's your first instincts. That's your first. If you want to be able to find your way through life, it's going to be through here. And this is why I call it your solar plexus as well, because it deals with your soul. Do you get me? So
wow, I didn't know that's what I call it solar plexus. Me, I just know how to strike in the solar plexus. Wow, serious.
It's a warrior, African warrior, yeah. But
I know what you're striking, because obviously through fighting that, I know if I strike someone with that thing, they're done. They're in a lot of trouble.
You remember back in the day, like, you'll tell people to hold their
breath, and
they will knock
them out. You know, did you do that?
Yeah, because the solar plexus.
Take their chest.
Yeah, they breathe, and he's boom, and then they fall on the ground.
It's because of the solar plexus.
Wow.
Yeah. So, saying all of that to say that it's so important that you keep this area clean. Yeah, and when I say clean, because the more in tune you are with this, the more in tune you are with purpose, you know, literally. And so what happens though, if you eat food or you eat like something that actually is having a negative impact on you, it's not just going to affect your stomach, it affects your thinking. It affects your thinking. People like just try it. Eat something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to go on a diet. I want to fast.
It will make your brain foggy. So understand the way people are behaving is also by what they're consuming.
So then now as well, you've got a lot of this you know, the 1 pound chicken.
Yeah, it's what we were talking about. Like, you know, all the adrenaline in the food. Oh my gosh, it goes to you.
And it's like, oh my God.
It's toxic because adrenaline, even the adrenaline we produce, you're supposed to use it for fight or flight. If you're walking around with adrenaline 24/7, what's going to happen? Eventually you're going to die. That's number one. But your body starts to shut down. Because you see, when you produce adrenaline, your DNA, you know, they say your DNA, it constricts like this. it gets tight. And the reason it gets tight because it's for fight or flight, survival, you know. And the reason is because all the blood starts rushing towards your organs just to protect your organs. That's why when you're fighting and you've got adrenaline, you don't feel certain things until after. Do you get me? While people are living in that state constantly, you know, from stresses they've created in their head, or from the media, and from this and from that. That's why you've had a lot of
feeling inferior about stuff that doesn't even matter.
No. All of that.
You can't control again.
All of that. So increase your smoothies, green smoothies preferably, berries, fantastic. And then there's so much you can do. You want to cut your carbohydrates. You want to cut the rice out. You want to cut the potatoes out, yams. You want to cut all that stuff out. And the reason is it sits in your blood as sugar and it makes you over fat. What is over fat? When your liver, there's something that they call it non-alcoholic liver disease. Lots of people have it.
Wow. Because non-alcoholic liver disease.
It's big, massive. It's now actually becoming where more people have that than they have liver disease from alcohol. Yeah. And the reason is because all of these carbohydrates, you've got to remember our diets in our culture full of carbs. We never ate that way before, you know. That was brought in, you know what I'm saying, to manage people the same way you manage livestock.
No, there was the hunter-gatherer time, and then there was the agriculture time.
We never ate that
agriculture time, that's when it came in.
You go to the stuff that we eat here, that's Caribbean food. I never had one oxtail in Jamaica. I didn't eat oxtail or nothing.
Oxtail was castaway meat, innit? A bit like chitlins.
I'm saying like the food that I got when I was there, different food, like proper healthy food as well. Even when it wasn't the most healthy, it was just still very fresh, at least. So, but it was never like the food that I got from the Caribbean shop. If you go to Africa, like you don't actually get the food that you get from just from the African
because they can't import that stuff here like that. But that journey, the food will perish.
It's
definitely.
Even the style of how they cook it. They're not cooking it in the same.
It's the fire. We start thinking you're connected to your culture. No, this is a pseudo culture. You know, because what it is, even like you know that they call it Indian food called chili con carne. Yeah, do you know that food?
I know what it is. Yeah. Do you know that food? What are you talking about?
So you know the chili con carne?
No, what he just said, it just resonated with me. What he just said, like, I just got it. Sorry.
Chili con carne is not Indian. It can never be found in India.
That's what I'm saying.
They made it here.
Exactly.
It's for the British people.
That was it. So pounded yam. When I was in Nigeria, like you said, pounded yam. When I ate pounded yam, I said, "What the hell is this?" But I didn't know. But I'm from the one that was getting here. I didn't know that was a fake one. The one back home was pounded yam, and then rehydrated. And you eat it. The one here,
even like ginger beer. If you see them make ginger beer in the tropics, or even in Africa, it's different. You know what I'm saying, from what you're seeing in the can. That ginger beer, that will burn your throat.
Proper.
What, the one back home?
Yeah, it's beautiful. They soak the ginger, they put the herbs. So I'm saying that you definitely want to cut the carbs. We've been made, you know, kind of dependent on carbs because it was a cheap food for fuel, you know.
So totally.
Yeah, well, lower it. So when I say totally, like broccoli still has a certain carb content, you get me? But it's good for you. You know, sweet potato although it's sweet, it's on the lower end of carbs compared to white potato. Yeah, called Vitavation.com.
I'd rather let him promote his website and that, so they because I want to go check it out.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's Vitavation. That's VITAVATION.co.uk or .com.
Vitavation.co.uk.com.
Vitavation.
Come up underneath, so you can just put.
Okay, cool.
.co.uk.
And leading into that, I want you to talk about how it works. So say, look at me now. I'll come to you now. Tomorrow I'm gonna say, Albert, look, mate, I just been having the shit.
So when you come to Vitavation,
headache and that, I'm not feeling too good. Got a bit of acne. You know what I mean, I heard you could help me out. You're like, just I don't have to be a vegan, do I?
No, definitely not. You know, when you come to Vitavation, firstly, I don't actually even want none of your history, you know, because what I like to do is test the objectivity of what we're doing, you know. So you don't say nothing. You just come, you sit down, you know, the service is great. It's a safe space, you relax. And when I'm talking about these scans, a lot of people, when they think about scans, they think it's invasive. This ain't invasive. And when I say invasive, it does no blood, no skin samples, none of that's taken. It's literally the system has a conversation with your body because your body has a sacred language. The system's able to interpret that language, which actually we should be doing. So the more, when clients come, bit by bit, they start learning this language of their body. So eventually, they don't even need to come for scans. You know, they know what's going on. You know, they may come for a program or products. And this is what we pride ourselves on. It's not to make people dependent. It's actually to remind people of their birthright, which is their health, literally. So you come, you do the scan. You get now, from the scan, I can see what's going on, you know, in terms of your organs, in terms of your systems. There's usually there's four major systems. Detoxification system, gastrointestinal system, endocrine system, and your immune system. Yeah, your gastrointestinal is your colons, you know, your small intestine, large intestine, stomach. Yeah, but your gastrointestinal starts from here. It starts from your gullet. It's the same tube that goes all the way down. Yeah, and then you have your immune system. We know what your immune system is. It's your defense system of your body. Yeah, and it's in everything. It's in your blood. It's in your immune system protects you. Then you have your endocrine system. Your endocrine system is to do with your actual glands, yeah, your prostate gland.
So is that endometriosis in women and then prostate cancer in men?
Yeah,
if they have problems in that area.
Yeah, it can show up in different ways. It can show up as thyroids. A lot of people have thyroid issues. You can have issues with your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland. You have glands underneath here, glands. You know what I'm saying? So even like usually when people have got cancer, it's showing up in their glands. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Your mammary gland, your like women's breasts, that's a gland. So that system is very important as well because it deals with your feelings of how you feel. If your hormones are off, your emotions are going to be off because the hormones are chemical messengers and they correlate to the emotions. Yeah. So that is very important. So like, for example, I'll just give you like something that seems petty. If you want to put on muscle and your hormones are off, you're not going to put on muscle. If you want to lose weight and your hormone, don't matter how much cardio you do, you're not going to lose it. Literally. Like if you really want to start actually balancing out your body, you've got to balance out your hormones first, and the exercise goes a long way. A little goes a long way. Yeah. I remember I used to do enough cardio. I'm still the same size.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't do half as much now, and this is the leanest I've been in probably my whole life. Yeah. And that's just due to the fact of me balancing my hormones. What balances hormones? One thing is sleep. Sleep is critical. And when I say sleep, I don't mean sleeping with lights on, turning off everything. All radiation must go off because radiation is a stressor. It stresses your system, literally. Oh yeah, because your body's absorbing all that radiation. All of that needs to go off because that helps balance your hormones. And then there's stuff like there's herbs like ashwagandha, there's maca root, there's ginseng root. These herbs, they balance out emotions, you know. Also what's good, and they balance out hormones. What's good for hormones as well is exercise. You know, because when you're doing exercise, you start building up more testosterone. You want to cut out the soya foods because the soya foods has a lot of estrogen. Estrogen is destroying women, causing fibroids. It's destroying men. It's making men more feminine. You know, so the estrogen, and there's a lot of foods that have estrogen because most of the foods we're eating's got soya. Look on the pack of it. So I'm saying all that to say. So when someone comes, we do the scan, and the scan is really like a cross section for where they are now. And then we plot for where they want to get to. It's very straightforward, it's safe as well. And then we'll have a conversation about kind of what they've been through. But we don't just base it all on the scan. We base it, one, on my expertise as a practitioner, what the scan says, and then also what the client knows about themselves. Because the client, they're the expert in their lives. And if they haven't become the expert, we empower them to becoming the expert. Do you get me? Because then it enhances what we can do and how we can support. Remember, we can't walk the path for you, you know what I'm saying? But what we can do is show you the path or help you discover the path. And again, health is a discovery.
The Yellow Brick Road.
The Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Yep. Are you what's your take on psychedelics quickly before we end up?
Psychedelic drugs.
It's not drugs, just let me say psychedelics, yeah.
Okay, because it's mushrooms, magic mushrooms.
Last question, and we'll wrap it up,
yeah. Psychedelics are a gift to the earth.
See, I thought so.
Yeah, and the reason they're a gift. So let me be very clear. Wherever there's an issue in nature, nature provides a solution. Yeah. So now it depends on your intention, because you can take psychedelics recreationally. And it's going to just be that surface level, yeah? Or you can take psychedelics actually for what they've been intended for, yeah? And what they've been intended for is to help you heal beyond the parts of you that the mind can't penetrate, the hands can't touch. You start going into dimensions of yourself that's actually brought you into who you're being right now that you'll never even be able to get to within counseling. So if, let's say you do, like I'll say for example, let's say you do iboga, yeah, or ayahuasca, yeah, or the mushrooms, and you do it officially, or cacao, you know chocolate, They do ceremonies around chocolate, you know. Chocolate initially was actually a psychedelic and used in ceremonies, cacao ceremonies. They're all known all over South America and everywhere. It's not there's so many, but what it is, you see these sacred plants, they actually, so what even McKenna was saying is that one ceremony of psychedelics, is equivalent to 1,000 counseling sessions. There's no comparison, because we are more than just this. And what the plants are older than us. That's why they give us our food.
Wow.
And so they take you to a part of yourself where you can call it your everlasting, that's able to heal what's going on in this waking life. And it's a process. And one thing about psychedelics, what you've got to be very mindful is respect for them and gratitude. And then also where there can be a lot of Achilles heels with people is because they want things now. I want this now. I want my power now. That's ego. What the psychedelics, how it works is you're meant to take time to process. So when you do a ceremony, there's a period of time where you process. And when I say we process, the downloads start coming through. You start understanding, oh my gosh, actually this hatred or this resentment I had for my dad, actually my dad was wounded. You know what I'm saying? And you start to see things from beyond who you've become. That's what psychedelics, they remove you from what you've become so you can see the picture of your life, and then you can start creating again. But if you're locked behind the bars of what you become, there's no creation for you. You're going to be in a prison till the day you die.
You're right over there, man.
That's another episode of Live Talk.
It's too deep.
Fawole, Albert, man behind the camera, the rest of the studio. Some really poignant, thought-provoking stuff.
Vitavation. Vitavation. So VITAVATION.
Instagrams as well.
.co.uk, and it's Mr. Vitavation on Instagram as well. Thank you for having me.
Anywhere else can they catch you?
No, that's it. Yeah, Vitavation, the website.
Nice.
Yes, my brother.
Thanks for coming.
Amazing.